intensifies its attack on Hamas in Gaza. Back home in Israel, survivors of the brutal Hamas attack, people like Eyal Barat, are struggling to go on.
Barat walks through his in-law's home, showing where gunmen killed his father-in-law, trying to shield his wife, who survived.
Bullet holes.
Barat had a unique view of the Hamas attacks and kidnappings in Nir Oz on October 7.
It looked very organized, very rehearsed, very clear. Everybody knew what their job is, and they came there to do their job.
He'd watched images on his cell phone as a truck pulled up outside with armed men. But his 6-year-old autistic daughter couldn't understand that their lives depended upon silence. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Russian President Putin will meet with one of his allies later this week. He'll host the Iranian president at the Kremlin on Thursday. A spectacular explosion leveled a house in Arlington, Virginia yesterday, much to the shock and surprise of police at the scene and neighbors 4 blocks around.
The incident began Monday afternoon at a duplex in Washington, D.C.'s Virginia suburbs when Arlington County Police responded to reports of shots fired, which they later determined came from a flare gun. Several hours later, as police attempted to serve a search warrant, the suspect inside the house fired several rounds inside, and then the house exploded.
The whole house shook from the sound concussion.
Neighbor Bob Maines tells the AP he thought maybe a tree had fallen on his house.
So then I went outside and I saw people heading down the street.
Video of the incident shows a sudden blast that threw timbers and fire high in the air and collapsed the house instantly. Jennifer King, Washington.
A downgrade of China's credit rating has Wall Street in the red this morning. The Dow futures down 93 points. NASDAQ futures off 65. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Thank the pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
Hi, Rhett Rasmussen of BestHotGrill.com. Step up your grilling game with our Solaire portable infrared grills. Our compact everywhere is a favorite of RVers and trailer pullers. Solaire Infrared provides the quick sear for bar marks and texture needed to properly finish sous vide. Use a portable alongside your larger conventional grill to create an instant sear zone and more juicy and flavorful food. Learn more at BestHotGrill.com. Affordable, powerful, portable infrared grills at BestHotGrill.com.
Asian countries dominate the top spots in a new survey of global education, while levels in Europe have fallen at a record clip.
The OECD's triennial survey is aimed at assessing the ability of 15-year-olds across the globe to meet real-life challenges and focuses on mathematics, reading and science. Singapore took the top ranking in this latest assessment, with the city-state scoring highest in all 3 of the survey's areas. The report, which examined data gathered in 2022, was the first since the COVID pandemic. And whilst acknowledging the negative impact of lockdowns on education standards, it found other issues, including a decline in parental involvement, to be factors in the downturns recorded.
The BBC's Tom Bailey. Prince Harry challenging in court the British government's decision to strip him of his security detail. News and analysis at townhall.com. The House Oversight Committee releases subpoenaed bank records showing that President Biden received at least 3 monthly payments, roughly $1,300 each in 2019, from a Hunter Biden-owned company.
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, the Republican from Kentucky, released a video on social media outlining the payment.
Hunter Biden's business entity, Owasco PC, made direct monthly payments to Joe Biden. This wasn't a payment from Hunter Biden's personal account, but an account for his corporation that received payments from China and other shady corners of the world.
The Department of Justice is currently investigating whether Hunter used Owasco to commit tax evasion. Edwin Mora, Washington.
The Senate is preparing to take up President Biden's request for more money, military aid for Israel and Ukraine. A test vote expected tomorrow in the upper house of Congress. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to it. Hope your Tuesday's going amazingly well. Weather, at least it's sunny. It'll be 60s today. Nothing too shabby going on here. So, pretty good. Happy, hope your Tuesday's going well. And the weather's nice. But it's like the work day now. Like things just sloughed off yesterday. Now you got to handle today.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully you can slough off tomorrow.
There's only so much putting off you can do.
That's
and,
right.
And now the countdown is on. Now it's like, well, this month always, it hits on such a weird level because it's like, oh, we have so much time left. Oh my God, it's tomorrow.
Yep. Yep. And now that we're full into December, it's ready.
I was asked, I heard the question asked yesterday, did you get your holiday cards mailed out yet? No, I haven't even put the list together.
I'm not good with that, so that's not my thing.
Yeah, it's good though because you have a secretary. I fired mine a few years ago.
She's not into that either.
Fair enough.
Yeah. We've always been bad about Christmas cards.
Christmas cards is one thing, and I'm fine with cards.
Yeah.
What always drives me nuts is the families, and if you do this, you know who you are, that put together the newsletter.
Oh, yeah. Is that people still do the newsletter?
People definitely still do that.
Yeah.
We get ours. We get our yearly newsletter from the McPeaks every year, letting us know that Jerry's doing great. He's in his second year of his graduate program.
Still.
And Colleen is looking at graduating with honors.
Good deal. I don't get those.
Yeah.
I'll get the photos.
Social media sort of like got rid of that. Because, I mean,
yeah.
I almost want to mail back a just one piece of paper that just says, I know, Doug. I know.
See Facebook. Yeah, that's true.
Or just a thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah. But, we're bad about it. We never really get into that and doing all that.
Oh, sure. Everybody's always wanting the likes, but you send one person a severed thumb in a box, and all of a sudden you're the bad guy.
So that's a real world thumbs up.
That's right.
But
it's one of those IRL.
Never got into that. Not my thing. When people send them, it's really nice and all that. But I just something I don't think about. Something I don't know. Just don't.
Yeah, I'm really bad about it. I try to at least to the heavy hitters every year, the VIPs.
I'm just bad at correspondence.
All the $5 Patreon backers.
Just everything when it comes up, I'm bad at. That's not what I do. You know, I'll see you when I see you. You know, I get you, but I just don't feel the need to do all that. But
yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little different than most people when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But you're not like beholden to the traditional Christmas things, so to speak. Because, I mean, you guys have family, obviously, but you don't have kids, so you don't have to do the whole rigmarole.
Yes and no. I mean, I don't have kids, but family has kids, so I have to do the things for their kids.
Right.
You know? But I've got nieces and nephews that all love Christmas, and we get Christmas and do Christmas for her. But, yeah.
But you're able to also do that switch off thing, where once they go, you can like, all right, now we can just be normal.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
But it's also the other side of that coin is like on Christmas morning, everyone's about the kids. And Kim and I just kind of sit in the background and just smile and watch. And it's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. That's our Christmas usually.
I've never had that. Okay. With like one or two exceptions when I was a kid, I never had that wake up on Christmas morning, come down and open presents thing. Our thing in my family.
As adults or kids we did?
When I was a kid, our thing was wait until mom and dad get up, get their coffee, dad has a cigarette, and then we can open up presents.
Right.
As an adult or as later in life, it was let's wait till the family gets up and then we'll do presents. And then it was, now that I'm actually like a later adult, it's let's wait till the family gets here and then we'll do presents. So it's never been one of those Santa can't, it's never been one of those moments.
See, in our house, it was me and my brother were the, dictator of Christmas. Mm-hmm. But the rule was we weren't allowed to wake our parents up until like 6 or 6:30.
Right.
And then they were generous. 6:30 is pretty.
I mean, yeah. On their day off, yeah.
Yeah. They gave us 6:30. They said, do not wake us up until 6:30. And sure enough, we patiently waited, and at 6:29, we're sitting there, and
59
wake up! Yeah, it was pretty much how it went.
There's no snooze alarm on that one.
Yeah, but as adults, it's been different. It's just I just kind of roll in when the thing happens. So, let me give you a rundown for our show today.
On that note.
Well, and then growing up as kids, I knew all my Christmas gifts because my brother was the snooper, and he would know the designated hiding spots, and he could tell usually a week before Christmas. You want to know what you got? This, and this.
Yeah, you're really look, kids. I understand the curiosity, just killing your cat.
Yeah.
Don't take the one piece of joy away from mom and dad. The only thing they get out of spending their hard-earned money on pieces of plastic for you is to see that look on your face when you're happy about it.
Yeah, we had to pretend, but I just wasn't good at it.
Exactly. Yeah, this is where kids really find out, how are my acting chops?
Oh, Mario Brothers! I can't believe I got this. I didn't know it was coming.
No, or they do the thing where it's Nintendo, and then they open the package like they knew it before they opened it.
Right.
Yeah, we know that you knew. You think you're getting one over on us? You're not.
Exactly. So yeah, that was my childhood.
We know because we did the same things growing up.
Yeah. And of course, if there's anything put together, they'd be doing it up at 2 a.m, building the bicycle or whatever it is they had to put together for Christmas. Oh yeah, we had those Christmases where they built, like there was one year where my brother and I got BMX bikes. That was a big year, and I remember, I guess they were up late putting those things together.
Oh sure.
And we were duped on that one. That one, my brother did not get his sneaking patrol out or whatever. They duped him on that one. So it was a good year. But anyway, let me give you the rundown.
Ah, yes.
We'll be joined here in just a few minutes by the folks from the Walker Aviation Museum. Robert Sherman and Doug Weiser, I believe, is the gentleman that's going to join us here in just a few. Give us an update there. We're going to replay our interview with Nook from Asian Market in the 8 o'clock hour. She dropped in to give us an update on what's going on over at the market, and she gave us delicious ramen to try.
Was awesome.
I loved it. Both of them. They're both rice noodles. One was a thicker and one was a thinner noodle. To this day, I'm like, I think I leaned thicker, but they're both good.
They're both good.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll play our interview with Nook here in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we had the city clerk for the city of Roswell, Amelia Martinez, and Christine Arnold, city councilor, join us. Just kind of talking a little bit about the clerk's office and kind of how the sausage is made, so to speak. I don't know why it's always the sausage, but in this case it was the sausage. And so we had a great conversation with them. So we'll play that for you about 9:15 or so this morning. Plus, we'll have all of your other features that include the news of the local variety, your Wall Street business updates, Hannity, sports reports, all the other good stuff, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
Indeed.
Before we do any of that, though, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking good for the next couple of days. High pressure is set up over the Four Corners region and the Central Rockies. That'll be covering us with sunshine today. Looks like low 60s on the afternoon high, low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll start warming up on Wednesday, sunny and mid 60s. We're back in the low 70s with fair weather again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 38 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60%. Winds currently out of the north at 10 miles per hour. Nice day today. Sunny skies. 62 the expected high today. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 33 degrees. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, sunny, 65 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 35 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, going to be in the 70s. Sunny and 71 the expected high there. West winds 5 to 10. Friday, also 70 for a high, sunny, and 70 for the high there. Then looking at your weekend, a little bit cooler for the weekend. We'll go from the 70s on Friday to the 50s on Saturday, 53 and sunny. And then we're back up into the low 60s on Sunday, sunny and 63. So I'm going to guess we're going to see some wind there on Friday night there, bringing the cooler temps for Saturday. That's just a hunch there. All right, it is 7:16. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Also get your Roswell Livestock Report recap of Smiley Wooten. And then we'll talk with the folks from the Walker Aviation Museum on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
It's that time of year again. Medicare open enrollment has started, and the New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services Department is here to help. Hi, I'm Jen Paul Schreier, Cabinet Secretary Designate, and I invite you to call us for free, unbiased options counseling from our experts to ensure you are getting the most out of your Medicare coverage. Open enrollment runs from October 15th through December 7th. Call us today at 1-800-432-2080. That's 1-800-432-2080.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,953 head of cattle sold on Monday on a higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold 10 to 20 higher, feeder cattle 5 to 10 higher. Packer cows sold $3 lower, packer bulls $6 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers $310, $330. 3 to 400 pound heifers $277, $285. 4 to 500 pound steers $285, $310. 4 to 500 pound heifers $247, $277. 5 to 600 pound steers $242, $285. 5 to 600 pound heifers $226, $247. 6 700 pound steers $215, $242. 6 700 pound heifers $197, $226. 7 800 pound steers $2, $215. 7 800 pound heifers $170, $197. Packer cows $85, $94. Canner and cutter cows 75 to 83, packer bulls 108, 116, feeder bulls 80 to 90. Top half the cow calf pairs $1,400 to $1,750 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,300 to $1,775 per head. We do appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, of course, Robert Sherman back with us. Also have Doug Weiser as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning. Good morning.
How
are you?
How's life treating you guys?
Very well.
Had a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we had a great one.
Yeah? How many days did you eat turkey after the Thanksgiving? 3, 4?
Well, actually, we went over to a neighbor's house.
Oh.
So we ate once.
So you ate once? Did they make you take leftovers?
I had to take 3 pies, and he made me take some pies home, so I ended up eating pies, which I probably shouldn't be eating. So.
You're a hero for taking those pies. How about you, Doug? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great, actually, and only ate turkey one day.
Good deal.
Because we ate as well. We were blessed, and somebody else cooked us dinner. So
I'm officially I finished eating turkey about a week ago, but there was a good 6 days, I think, run of a lot of turkey related foods there. So I'm I'm kind of glad to be done with that for now. So, for folks that aren't familiar, of course, the folks from Walker Aviation Museum join us once a month. And if you're not familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum, which is located in the Roswell Air Terminal, the airport, and it is a museum dedicated to really kind of three different things. One, it's the Air Force Base that called that part of town home, the Roswell Army Airfield, later Walker Air Force Base. So it really talks about the history of that and shows the history of that, but also the history of kind of this area's role during the Cold War with the missiles, the ICBM missiles. And really the other part is STEM, is really just encouraging the next generation to pursue career fields in STEM-related or aviation-related, which are one and the same here, career fields here. So that's kind of what the museum is all about there. Did I cover it in a nutshell, or is there?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. We got the who,
we're getting
what's,
you
where.
trained really well.
There you go. And if you've never been, I always encourage you to make a trip out to the museum. Generally, the hours run around the flying schedule of the.
Yeah, it's today. Matter of fact, it's the first, I think, a change. It's been 12:40. Was it midday takeoff?
Yeah.
Today it's 12:14.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly how long that's going to last, but
so if you go open up a little bit earlier now.
Just Jenna just gives us a heads up.
So what time you guys open? Usually about 10:30, 11? Or?
Yeah, about 10:30.
Okay.
11 o'clock.
And then they hang out till about 1 o'clock or so. So you can come on by, and of course, if you're in the middle there, they're not going to be, gotta go. But it really is, and what I love about the museum, and I think this is where you guys have a lot of fun, is especially during the summer months when people take vacations and things, you get a lot of families that called Walker Aviation Museum, or they had family members that called the museum or the Air Force Base home at some point or another, whether they had a grandfather or grandmother or daughter or somebody that served there, or maybe they lived here because their parents served and they were little kids, with their family on the base. So you get those kinds of stories all the time where families come back to visit, where maybe some former or older family members, chewed some dirt here from time to time. So to me, that seems like the coolest part of the job, when you get someone coming in and then they bring like some stuff, memorabilia, clothing or books or something from their time here, and then sometimes they share that stuff with you. And to me, that's the coolest part of your of being a kind of a volunteer at the museum, I'm guessing. I'm going to guess you guys probably dig that a lot too.
That's right. We run into some really nice folks out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of dead as far as don't have very many people, but then sometimes we get a bunch of folks, and it'll be a situation where I'm out there and I'll get through talking to one individual for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and I'm thinking, wow, that was worth the trip out here today, because of his background or her background.
Sure. And you get
like
to, I imagine you guys learn cool factoids on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Just when you get those visits and things like that.
But actually, to be accurate, we're trying to open up, I don't know exactly the hours, but about 2.5 hours prior to the takeoff.
Okay.
So you just back up 2.5 hours from whatever the current takeoff
is. So
is.
if they're taking off about 12:15, so about 10:15.
Yeah, and they can go to AA.com and you check on flight status, and then just type in depart Roswell and go to Dallas, DFW.
Yeah.
And it'll show you what the schedules are and kind of what the status is. Are they take off on time? So when I get there, I check on departure of the plane out of Dallas to come here, because it turns around and goes back.
So if it's running behind, then
if it's running behind, it's going to make everything else run behind. And
sure.
So we have a bunch of folks that come in kind of waiting either to pick up people coming in on the plane from Dallas, or they're getting ready to leave. So they're looking around and
kind of have a captive audience for a little bit.
Yeah. And then when the plane lands, you got all the people coming off, and sometimes you'll get 3 or 4 people coming in that landed, just want to swim in like, hey, every time I've been here, you guys been closed, and that's because they come early in the morning.
Yeah, they come like Saturday morning or something early. But and it always takes them a good 5-10 minutes to get your luggage off the plane and get it over there. So you, instead of just standing there staring at that door waiting for it to open and your luggage to come out, walk on over to the museum and avoid all the headaches of trying to fight for your bags for a few minutes, and they'll be there when you're done.
Yeah, we're about 50, maybe 60 feet from the check-in area where the inspection.
Yeah, if you come in the main entrance of the airport, the middle doors there, it's right there when you walk through. You can't.
On the right
you'll
side.
trip right over it when you walk in. So.
Where we used to be is now a bar.
Yes.
And there's a food court there, but
which they have great burritos and stuff. So if you if you're hungry, maybe before or after your trip to the museum there, grab a bite to eat. Pretty good food there. I'm sure you guys spend a lot of time eating there because you're just at the airport waiting around, hanging out for stuff. So, but I also would like to encourage folks to get involved with because of that STEM side that we talk about. You guys do tours and offer for like various youth groups.
Yeah, we had the Catholic school out last Friday.
Oh, cool.
Peggy Boland.
Okay.
She's our science whiz.
Yeah, she loves
STEM person.
She's a STEM person. Yeah. She loves space and rockets.
Camp
and all
Invention,
that.
space. Yeah, she's been an astronomy president.
She's a retired teacher, so she's all about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but she's teaching now again.
Is she back to teaching? Yeah. Okay. Well, I say retired. She's teacher now.
But she brought some kids in. And
oh, cool.
It's kind of funny. We were laughing because they brought in, I think it was 8 kids, which is a perfect number because we have 2 flight simulators, and we can put 2 on each flight simulator for about an hour. And then the other 4, we show them like 13 different STEM careers off of YouTube.
Yeah.
And then they change positions. But
and they get to see
just like when they brought the Boy Scouts in about a month ago.
Right.
They brought in 8 kids, and then they also had 8 adults.
Nice.
We were laughing at kind of controlling the adults is more difficult. Than
I'm about to say they probably have more. They were probably getting into things more. All right, now stop playing with
that.
Don't touch that. But and that's the thing. The Walker Aviation Museum has a full flight simulator that just like the ones that people train to be pilots on.
It's not a wraparound or movement thing, but
it's
Lockheed software. It's about $6,000.
And if you're certified and you get on it, and those hours you're training on it do count towards your pilot's license.
And you can fly 50 different airplanes and land at any airport in the world.
Wow!
So you get a pilot that comes in a setup for like Cessna 172. They go, oh, okay, fine. I said, well, you can select a fighter aircraft.
Right. You can
land in Istanbul,
jets.
Turkey at 9:00 at night in the rain.
Yeah. See, that's cool.
Really? Okay.
I would imagine a lot of pilots just want to do that, especially if you're like a civilian pilot that flies Cessnas and things like that, and you get a chance to get some seat time behind an F-22. I gotta imagine it's got to be. I think I want to try that. It's a little bit different than flying this Cessna. And I'm doing it on a simulator when I don't screw it up and crash this thing.
Your takeoff row is a little shorter.
That's right. But that's what so kids, adults, people that are looking to maybe go towards a career as a pilot or you just want to get your pilot's license for your own personal, it might behoove you to kind of buddy up with some of the folks at the museum here. And because in essence, you guys, give training on that and check people out kind of like a driver's test or something. And then once you've deemed them good enough to do their thing, and they can literally come, obviously when hours are available, flash their card and get some time in the simulator to get, if you're working towards your pilot's license or something like that, you can actually use this as part of your training to get you towards there. And so that's why I love all this stuff is, we get to learn the history of this place, and you want to come and talk stories and talk about that. That's awesome, and that's what it's there for. But when you have kids and things that are thinking, I want to be a pilot, or I want a career in aviation, or I want to be an engineer, and they come walking in and they start doing these things and learning about that stuff. So so it's kind of a twofold. It celebrates our past and lights the way for the future kind of thing. That's kind of what the museum's
Our
about.
website is really, thanks to Juliana Halverson. She's the
official historian / I think website builder for nonprofits in our town.
Yeah, she really does a lot. Anyway, what we'll get is a couple come in, or a gentleman will come in, and he's headed for, say, Connecticut.
Okay.
I said, you got any kids? Oh, yeah, I got my kids, 12, 14 or whatever. And so I just show them our website where they can go to. And as you open up our website at wafbmuseum.org, you can go up and click on education. And the first thing you get is kind of a description of what we do out there for 3 hours with 8 kids or whatever. And then there's a list of, well, as you go down through that, it lists some different things that we show them on YouTube.
Okay.
But in that section, you can actually click on it or touch on it with your iPhone, and it'll actually play that video.
Okay.
And then below that, there's a bunch of other YouTubes that we found for, career-wise.
Okay.
And then some aircraft ones.
So you can watch them on your own, too, if you
But
maybe did
that list, you have to kind of find them and then play them.
Gotcha.
But then if you go down further, you run into 38 professional pilot training videos that are ground school.
Oh, wow.
And that's 12 hours worth of training.
Shoot.
So we show
You're
them that.
halfway there if you get through that already.
And it lists all those. All you have to do is touch those, and it'll play on your iPhone.
That's impressive.
So then the next thing we did is spent a while with 3 phone books, and we listed 480 STEM-type jobs in the Roswell region that are listed right there. And then as you get down at the bottom, or if you're on a computer, it's at the top, but you find 3 little photos of Bob Donnell and I working with the kids.
Nice.
And right above that is dealing with STEM jobs.
Okay.
And if you touch that, you go to a website used by the local schools here, ONET Online.
Okay.
Yeah, Occupational Network Online.
Okay.
And that lists 331 STEM occupations or careers alphabetically. And you just touch on that on your iPhone or, computer, and it'll come up with all kinds of list of skills you need, job activities that you'll do, on and on and on. And
what a great
it goes
tool
on down,
for
you
families
give
to kind of
zip
show their
code,
kids.
It'll say where your jobs are and where the education is for those.
When you're sitting down talking with your kids about,
So
their
they get really
futures.
excited about that. We give them a little business card. They can go back and say, just go to that, and you can, no matter where
Start
you
your
are.
path towards that, getting the training lined up, and next thing you know, you're 10, depending on their age, a few years from then, they're in that, doing that career and living the dream. I love that.
One of the
That's great.
reasons we give them is that when we were in high school, back in the dark ages, not really, but you didn't have that type of opportunity.
Nope.
You kind of like getting ready to go out of high school. You say, okay, you going to be a rancher, farmer, a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, or
I remember them
instead
taking
of
a
all
test.
the list of stuff that's
I
out
remember
there.
taking some kind of test in school, and I don't even remember the questions, but at the end of the day, it told you what you'd be geared for, and I think I got farmer or garbage man or
Did it have
something.
radio?
No
radio personality.
No radio. But yeah, and I don't know how accurate those tests were back in the day, but this seems way better and a lot more cooler.
We had some guys that were really friendly from South Africa.
Okay.
And these guys were here to help harvest hay, they said, quote unquote.
Okay.
So I'm getting kind of suspicious. I was talking to Bob Donnell, and we were saying, seriously?
Yeah.
You got guys fly all the way from South Africa up through
They're experts
the
in hay
Roswell area to help
harvesting.
harvest hay. And they were headed back. One was going to London to go to, and one was going to Dubai or whatever, out of Dallas to head South Africa. Anyway.
For more hay harvesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I said, maybe they're, South Africa's CIA or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they're up to a little bit more in although they're, or maybe
No,
they're
but they
just-
were real friendly guys, really nice.
well, maybe they're really good at harvesting hay, and they're when you
Yeah,
need the
I guess
best. You bring in the A team. But I would invite and encourage folks, and if you're a youth group, like I said, go to the website and check some of this stuff out, and say, hey, this would be perfect for our group. Then talk to the museum, and they can set up times for your group to come in. And like I said, it seems like 8 seems to be the magic perfect number for a group, but we can make it happen with other numbers and things like that.
By the way, we're sitting here. Doug Weiser joined our group fairly recently.
Okay.
I did.
Doug's a new
And
volunteer.
he is our president-elect. He will be our president next year.
So brand new and said, guess what? You're the president.
No, he volunteered.
I got you. Good for you.
We poked him, and he
Yeah, I raised my hand. I got
Good deal.
poked and I raised my hand.
Well, we're and you're always looking for more fresh faces to come be a part of the Walker Aviation Museum as a volunteer or to serve on the board. There's so many different roles that you can do if you want. Docents. They're always looking for more docents. I think Ted or Bob or yourself ought to take a day off.
We recently
once in a while.
lost Ted. Ted going to have me doing other things with his kid and stuff. So he was out as one of our main volunteers. So I'm going to be working possibly with Allie Bishop. She might be out for a day a week. And,
well, good deal.
But a lot of people
are
busy working during the day, so they can't really make it out here.
But if there's maybe some retirees or some folks that...
So that's why Bob Donnell, myself, and Allie can maybe get out there.
Yeah, and there's no rules saying you have to be former military and that stuff.
No.
If you just have a desire and love the stuff, maybe you're just an airplane fan, and you want to come and be a part of it. But always looking for volunteers and docents to kind of just answer questions, things like that, or like you said, be. When I was talking at the beginning, I'm going to argue the coolest part of volunteering there is that time when the families come up with their stories and things, and guess who gets to hear those? The docent, the volunteer, the one that's there welcoming people. You get to meet these folks that come in and they tell their stories of what they did when they were here 20, 30, 50 years ago here. So it's
usually
really cool.
When I'm there, I just play the Enola Gay, the kind of history of the Enola Gay and Hiroshima, and it talks about the history of Tibbets, the pilot, how he was going to be a doctor until his dad was selling candy, and this guy came along in a biplane and needed somebody to sit in the back seat and throw out candy. So he did that for a week, 12 years old.
That's amazing. And that's a heck of a way to get into the...
After that was over with, he kind of stopped thinking, I think I'll be a pilot and not he really got hooked on that.
But technically he got lured into being a pilot with candy.
That's right.
Like don't get in the van.
The new candy that they were throwing out was called the Baby Ruth.
Oh, Baby Ruth.
So,
and at the time, Babe Ruth was a very popular
it was a big
man.
thing.
He was a superstar
big
back
as
then.
Snickers as nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
but
that's pretty
anyway,
cool.
What you do is you get someone in there and that thing's going. You have people come in and they'll sit in our chairs that we have and watch it rather than just sit out in the food court area. But then sometimes people come in and say, my dad was a B-36 crew chief or B-36 mechanic or whatever. I go, okay. I jump up. I go over and I pause that one, and we go to one where you have, what's his face? Oh, yeah, Jimmy Stewart and June Allison. He's coming up and gives her a little kiss, and she's sitting in the car. He said, I'll be back, and it's about 7 minutes long that we have on that YouTube. And he gets in a B-36, and it shows inside, and they rev up the engines, they take off, and they fly and come back and land. So I put that on.
Sure.
And they go, wow, okay, this is the B-36.
Gives them an idea what their family member worked on.
Yeah,
exactly. I love that.
So
that's great.
So real flexible as far as that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Of course, the other part is that history side of things that we talk about here. And and I know we wanted to talk a little bit about the namesake of the museum, or the Air Force Base, now the museum here in General Walker. Of course, they just don't name installations after people unless they do some pretty special stuff here. And General Walker was definitely one of those, a hero of World War II. And of course, he was a guy that was known for leading from the front, and he actually, we lost him because he was a brigadier general doing something that probably a captain should have been doing. Flying planes and leading missions and things like that.
That's a matter of fact true, because he was told by General Kinney, commander of 5th Air Force, who was told by MacArthur, he was also flying on missions, and General MacArthur told Kinney, do not fly on missions. I need you, to lead.
We need your leadership now. You're not.
So
you're
then,
not
when that happened to
here.
him, he told Walker, now you quit flying, because he was flying about once a week in combat, because he felt like he's supposed to be there. He's the type of guy they talk about.
Well, that's what you're trained to do. That's what you do.
If you went and he was a general, he would stand in line with everybody else going through the cafeteria line. It's kind of like...
Even though he had a man of privilege, he didn't use it. He was always amongst the guys.
I remember the general when I was at Okinawa. We'd have a dining in. The thing was that he said, you serve my food last. So, man, everybody be sitting there and they'd be serving everybody the food, knowing that the last serving had to go to the general in charge. So they were really efficient, as trying to get the food out.
Way to get your people,
because the general said, I'm not going to be served up first because I'm sitting at the head table, blah, 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 and all that's going to be eating while you guys are waiting for food. He says, I will get my food last. person. So, man, things got, from that point on, really sped up. They had more people putting out the food and stuff like that.
Well,
but that's kind of what he did. He was
Sure.
leading from the front.
Well, and that's, and in the military, when you have a leader that really is of the troops like that, they garner so much respect, and generally, I'm going to guess that every one of his GIs would go through a brick wall for that man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
Probably
saying?
yeah.
That's just, when you get a good leader like that, just based on my own time in the military, when you find a leader that knows what, because in the military, you get a little everybody, and not everybody's a genius in the military. But when you find one that's in charge of stuff and doing things, people gravitate to that really quick. So General Walker was one of those people that people gravitated to. So.
I last time I was on, I talked about. I have 3 books that I've kind of recommended. I just got through reading recently, Countdown 1945 by Chris Wallace. It was a bestseller. It was copyright 2020 on Countdown to Hiroshima, and talks about all that. And then the Enola Gay by Gordon Thomas, that was written in 1977. The last one I just got through reading is really interesting, called the World War II 100. And in that book, he goes through and provides about 2.5 to 3 pages of information and a few smaller photos of 100 of the key people that are involved with World War II.
Okay,
the first one would be Hitler. Hitler was the guy.
I'm thinking of good guys. I was thinking all over.
These are all the bad guys.
Okay, gotcha.
So, number 1 was Hitler. Number 2 is Franklin Roosevelt. 3 was Winston Churchill. 4 was Joseph Stalin. But then if you get over here in the back, number 91 is Adolf Eichmann. You come across names that you never heard before, and then it tells you why they were important. You go, wow, that's really neat. I never heard of that guy.
Sure.
So it's kind of a interesting little book.
Because obviously you get the top list, like, I know all them names. But once you start getting down towards the middle and bottom, you're like, and they did some courageous act or something that happened during the war that changed the outcome of it big time, and it could have been something they did in combat or some decision they made.
And every time it mentions it in that 3 pages, if it's one of these people listed, it'll give the number next to it the first time they mention the name.
Okay.
So you're reading that name and go, oh, that's number 67. Oh, I'll go check him out.
Go back and reference it.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a fun book. It's one of the books, though, that at the beginning is, the title on the front page is everything's cool. It says the World War II 100. It's like a book like that. However, on the outside of the book, the War World II. I bet you the people that the author with this, like, seriously?
Yeah. Interesting.
And, I had it in my bookcase for a long time before I realized
that there was a misprint
it says
there.
The War World II 100. But the actual name inside is the World War II 100.
I guess the guy making the spines on these.
So I imagine first time the author saw that book, he says, seriously, you just printed 100,000 of these books? All right. Anyway,
it's like probably the guy that chicken soup for the soul. You wonder if that first time they spelled soup soap, and then you just wonder, chicken soap for the soul. What are you talking about? Kind of same thing here.
That's true.
Or maybe you have a misprint. Maybe you should check out the other copies of that book and see if they're all like that, or you just got one that.
Oh, maybe it's right. Yeah.
That might be worth money now.
They may just run it, and it had about 100 books come out that way.
Yeah. Well, did it have a jacket that came on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they maybe just covered up with the jacket, thinking no one would look, and then here you are ripping the jacket off.
This might be a valuable book. Yes,
very cool. But that's what I love about this stuff, is that history and everything that comes with it. So that's why I always want to invite people to come and be a part of the museum. Come check it out. If you've never been for a visit, please come. If you're a group that works with the youth and wants to, there's a great opportunity. I know there's all kinds of church groups, school groups, other civic organizations that have the kids come in there, and I'm telling you, if you get a group of kids in there, you might just find one of them, next thing you know, that they just found their link to what they want to do the rest of their lives.
One of the things that we do right now is, Juliana, when we had our, museum day.
Yes.
And she came up, we had a big box of these little flat rubber, looks like just a piece of flat rubber, and breaks loose and it comes out to make it like a little glider, a little airplane. And they come in like 6 different colors. So if you have a little tiny girl that might be interested, we have a pink one. You know, she can have a pink airplane.
Nice.
So that's one of the things I do. Like people come in, I said, "You got any?" You know, they probably think I'm being really nosy. But you got any like 2, 3-year-old, 4-year, 5-year-olds at home? Oh yeah, I'm going to go see them right now. I say, well, here, there's one boy, one girl. So I say, go pick out the color. Then I show them one put together, and you put a dime in the nose and you throw it. It kind of.
I love those.
It doesn't go taking off.
Right.
But it kind of flies.
Those are my favorite toys as kids. You know, the little parachute guy, the little balsa wood gliders. You know, those
and
are my
it really
favorite toys.
opens them up, and it's just something that's really cheap and easy, but makes them really happy. And next thing you know, they're kind of like, oh, okay. And then they start talking about other stuff. And it kind of opens them up a little bit.
Absolutely. Gets them, It's a fun way to kind of connect with the kids and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Good deal.
But
what else do we want to cover here? Is any other thing we want to make sure?
Some of the people that have donated fairly recently is Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, Glenn Furniture, 6 Bomb Wing Reunion Group, and David Petroleum, Doug Murray, and just recently the Xi Kappa chapter of Beta Sigma Phi.
Okay. College.
It's kind of a
fraternity
group of I think ladies that work, but they just sent us a nice check.
Nice.
Significant amount of money, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So anyway, we're just always looking for some support so we can keep the doors open. The rent's not too high, but there are about $1,000 worth of expenses every month when you count everything.
Absolutely. And so it is a free museum.
Yeah, and we have people donate. They come in, and I have a big sign now. We just say, please come in, because people stop at the edge of the door. Like, can I come in?
Right. Do I cross the threshold? What am I getting into?
Can I bring my coffee in? I say, yeah, come on in.
Come on in.
Put your butt in. And then I just made it big and said, yes, come on in. Yes, you can take pictures. Da, 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 da. So I kind of like encourage them to come on in.
Welcome. Stop staring staring from afar. Come on in.
Yeah, you're always looking to enlarge your list of donors and benefactors.
Absolutely. Well, and that's just it. It's all volunteers. It's really a grassroots organization here, and like you said, there's not a admission fee to go to the museum. So really, the only funding you guys get is really through generous donations.
Yeah, we were doing golf tournament, but now we're kind of down to smaller numbers. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, so it's kind of
the way big donators in the past was Roswell Toyota, XL Energy. Of course, got us those a grant for those flight simulators, and AirSail was a really.
So kind of looking for some fresh faces to support.
It's always great.
Support the museum here.
That's
so
right.
if you're a business or organization, and we're very thankful for the groups that have supported in the past, but always looking for some new groups. If you're looking, especially if maybe your business or entity is kind of in that aviation or STEM field, and you want to support, organizations that are trying to bring you the next generation of people. Give the museum a call. Talk to them, and
we have one of our gentlemen help build a few things for us. But we have a Jacob's Ladder. People say, what is Jacob's? They don't know. It's it
was a movie in the
couple
80s.
Of lanes that go up, they kind of spread out.
Yeah.
And there's a thing. So I get a young kid, and I say, hey, they're walking around with mom and dad trying to take care of them.
Yeah.
I say, hey, come over here. Here, push that switch down. There's Jacob in this lightning thing where the light, 10,000 volts that goes up this thing. And they go, whoa, look at that. So they sit there and hold that thing down and watch it go up and lightning. So it's kind of like.
Oh, kids love buttons.
Yes, the kids like excited about
fire
stuff like that.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah, absolutely. But then they learn, oh, yeah, this is electricity. This is what why does it do this?
You definitely wouldn't want to stick your finger inside this this case.
By the way, the 80s movie Jacob's Ladder, nothing to do with any of that stuff.
That's right. But, that's a good point.
You're like, this movie has nothing to do with the Jacob's Ladder. But go to the museum website, wafbmuseum.org, and as Robert was mentioning earlier, talking about the different videos, all that stuff there. But if you're interested in making donations, there's a Donate Now button, or if you're interested in becoming a volunteer, it tells you ways that what they're needing, what they need help with, serving on the board or docents or any of the different ways you can get involved here. So please don't hesitate to go to the museum, do your own little research and read about it, and then come on out for a visit here to the museum. But
a lot of people, when they see General Walker, and even the little video says, he got shot down and killed, and he's actually still missing in action over.
He was never technically recovered.
New Guinea, yeah, and they missed the main point. If you look at his biography, there's a picture of him on the wall. It's actually the last half of the last paragraph, which is why I think he was so well respected. And
right.
That was the War Plans Division was tasked with developing a production requirements for President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who wanted it, very quickly. So they sat down, guys by the last names of George, Olds, Fairchild, Walker, Cooter, and Hansel. Fairchild, this gentleman, ended up being, Fairchild Air Force Base was named after him, and Walker had Walker Air Force. But in a period of about 4 days, they put together a plan for a war against Germany, and they reflecting their belief. They were kind of called the bomber mafia.
Okay.
They believed that that's what was the key, and they talked about and all the exact things they would need for a number of bombers and estimated to knock out all of Germany's key industries. So they put together the actual plan that was used by 8th Air Force over in England to, try to
the overall
subdue
strategy.
Germany. Yeah, overall strategy.
Interesting.
And they kind of initially came up that they would need, after all the different groups of bombers and, light bombers and firefight, 1,808 observation squadrons, all kinds of stuff. They figured they'd need 6,834 aircraft. Well, turns out they needed a lot more than that. And when they looked at building all the aircraft they needed and all the squadrons and all the stuff, the plan required 2,164,916 people.
Wow.
I don't know where they came up with that number, but they included 103,482 pilots.
Wow.
Thinking, wow, you just realize how big World War II was.
Yeah, it's insane, those numbers. And
then they also thought that fighters didn't make any difference as far as fighters go. And they found that out was a mistake.
Yeah, they learned that lesson.
Because even the guys flying out of Germany in the 8th Air Force, B-17s, it was kind of like suicide missions.
Yeah, those escort.
And that's why they limited to 25 missions, because otherwise, if you said you're going to fly for 100 missions, you're going to be dead.
Yeah, you ain't going to see 100 missions.
Yeah, no.
You were lucky to see 25
but then
in some
the
cases.
P-51 Mustang fighter came along to escort them out of England, and boy, that was a big thing. It helped
changed,
them a lot.
That was a game changer as far as them coming in and that's why you always, if you're a movie fan and all that, and you watch like the Red Tail movies and all that kind of gives you a good idea what we're talking about here as far as the role of the fighter in World War II and how it impacted greatly the success of our bombing missions and things like that. So.
Yeah, so you can always go just like I did. I go to Wikipedia and you just print out Kenneth Walker General, and it gives a quick, pretty good summary, about 8, 9, 10 pages worth of stuff to read.
Good deal.
So he showed what was on his shirt. He had the Medal of Honor. Well, of course, that's after he passed away.
Right.
Distinguished Service Cross, Silver Star, Legion of Merit, Purple Heart, World War I Victory Medal. So this guy kind of been around.
He's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big
well,
deal.
they don't name bases after people that aren't big deal. They just
Well,
don't.
that's
You
true.
know? Yeah.
And he was from northern New Mexico, Los Rios. Kind of like the Los Rios restaurant,
I didn't know he was from New Mexico. That part I didn't know.
But fairly soon after he was born, his dad left his mother, and so her mom moved up to Denver. So he kind of grew up in Denver, but he initially was living in northern New Mexico.
He was put on this earth in New Mexico.
That's right.
Good deal. And but again, cool history.
Oh, by the way, we have a new member of our group. He's on the advisory board.
Okay.
Josh Bootson.
Okay. Well, welcome, Josh.
And he works with the New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions.
Okay.
And he said there's a website called Be Pro, Be Proud.
Okay.
BEPROBE. And it talks about these big semis that come around with simulators in them for driving 18-wheelers.
CDL.
For doing lift stuff. But they're going to be coming to Roswell High School, they said, in January.
Okay. So if people are interested in getting CDLs, things like that, they might want to. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about.
But if you go to that website, it lists all these different things. and it talks about what their salary, what their medium salaries are. And,
what's that website? Does it have
it would be written together, beprobeproud.org.
Okay, beprobeproud.org.
And this is what...
Google that. That should come up.
Yeah. And that's what Josh just talked about. He's a really good guy.
I'll have to get him in talking about it.
So is Doug Weiser, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, he's got a lot going on. He does.
Good deal. So please reach out. When's your next board meeting? Like, how often do you guys have your board meetings?
Every 2 months.
Okay.
We may be... Next board meeting, we're going to have a brainstorming section, right?
Okay.
Yes, we talked about that. We're all going to sit around and try to come up with some ideas. Maybe
see what sticks to the wall
meet
there
at the museum.
Nice. Yeah. Very good. Is it in January or when did you have your last meeting?
Yeah.
So probably in January.
Yeah, it'll be in January.
Maybe we'll catch you next month in January. Say, hey, the meeting's coming up. We'll invite you all out.
What's going on?
Good deal. Did we get it all? Is there anything we missed?
I don't know. Is there
anything we missed?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all. Students, it's just a great. If you think about when you got out of high school, but as Robert mentioned, it's sort of difficult trying to figure out what you want to do.
Right.
And if there's a list of careers, fields, and different things like that, I wish I had it.
Sure.
When I got out of high school, hey, you can do all this.
That's exactly why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And
well, they say the world's your oyster. I'm like, well, I have no idea what's in the oyster.
Yeah, what's in the oyster?
Yeah.
You're correct. I mean, that's the thing. And this tells you, hey, that's interesting. I ought to check this out. I ought to check this out. But yeah.
So please reach out. Come, come individually. Come, with a family, or come as your group, whatever. But come visit the museum, like we said. Check the American Airlines flight schedule, but it's 2 hours prior to that early flight there. So usually about 10:30, 11, that thing's open.
If you go to the website, you can find the phone number.
Yes.
And you can call us, and we try to keep that voicemail up to speed.
Gotcha.
On when we're open.
So that way you can
We
call
were open on Saturdays, but we've because we don't have enough volunteers right now, we're down to Monday through Friday.
We need some more volunteers. So if anyone's interested in volunteering, then we can open back up on Saturday.
Yeah. And I apologize for talking more, because Doug's here kind of like, next time.
I'll talk more next time.
I'm going to let Doug do all the talking.
Right. Robert's going to sit and listen.
Well,
that's right.
I talk too much anyway, so we need more. We get some of that.
No,
we'll get it done.
That's right.
We'll get it done.
Well, thank you guys. If I don't see you before the holidays, Merry Christmas to you
Merry
guys.
Christmas, Happy Holiday.
And I guess we'll talk to you in 2024 with bigger and better and more exciting things that are on the horizon here. So,
absolutely.
Good deal.
Indeed.
Okay.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks,
Take
Mike.
care. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mike.
It is 7:57. Let's pause for Wall Street Business Update. Quick break. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street gave back some of its recent gains Monday as stocks finished lower, ahead of some key reports this week on the job market that might provide more insight into the Federal Reserve's thinking about interest rates. The top bosses of J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, and other major banks are expected to warn lawmakers this week that capital hikes and other new regulations will hurt the economy. Worker pay and rights, climate change, mortgages, and financial stability are also likely to feature when the CEOs of the country's 8 largest banks appear before the Senate Banking Committee on Wednesday. Alaska Air announced it will buy rival Hawaiian Airlines for $1.9 billion. The acquisition was the culmination of several months of negotiations. Music streaming giant Spotify will lay off around 1,500 employees, or 17% of its workforce, to bring down costs. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike McCoy.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Expanding its anti-terror offensive into southern Gaza, Israel's military stepping up its bombing of Khan Yunis. Satellite photos show tanks and troops massing outside the city. In consideration of Palestinian civilians, Israel has ordered people out of nearly 24 neighborhoods. On Capitol Hill today,
senators are set to get a classified briefing on Ukraine, Israel, and White House plans for a $100 billion supplemental spending bill to address those and other national security concerns. But many Republicans say they won't support a bill for foreign aid unless it includes funds to help address the border crisis. Top GOP negotiator Senator James Lankford says senators are making progress and that he believes a compromise is possible before the end of the year. Bob Agnew reporting.
Police are trying to serve a search warrant at a home in Arlington, Virginia yesterday. Police say the house blew up. A massive blast unleashing a huge fireball, vaporizing the house. It rocked the suburban Washington, D.C. neighborhood, injuring some police officers, but they were not seriously injured. Police are responding to a call of someone firing a flare gun outside the home. They say the suspect fired off a few rounds inside. The house then blew up. The status of the suspect not known. A powerful storm knocked out power to tens of thousands of utility customers, made travel dangerous across parts of New England to start off the week.
Once you got into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, you got into accumulating snow and pretty widespread totals over 6 inches, some getting up towards a foot. And again, those highest amounts kind of from central northern Vermont into the White Mountains of New Hampshire and then into Maine.
Mark Chenard at the National Weather Service. Wall Street has put its rally on hold. Right now, the Dow down 111 points. The S&P is off 3 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Rescuers searching the slopes of Indonesia's Mount Merapi volcano found more bodies among the climbers who were caught off guard on Sunday by an eruption, raising the number of dead to 23.
Edi Mardianto, the deputy police chief in West Sumatra province, says the latest bodies were found not too far from the eruption site, estimated to be only a few yards away. Mardianto adds, we're facing problems with unpredictable weather and also tough terrain, where the wind's still carrying volcanic ash and hot clouds, so it's not easy for us to evacuate the bodies. Climbers are only officially allowed below the danger zone and have to register at 2 command posts or online. However, local officials acknowledge many people may have climbed higher than permitted. I'm Charles Dillerdesma.
The Kremlin says Russian President Putin will make a one-day visit to the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia this week. News and analysis at townhall.com. Well, fertility drugs played a role in this. A Ugandan woman giving birth at the age of 70.
Safina Namakwaya had a boy and a girl through cesarean section at a hospital in Uganda's capital. She said, what inspired me to give birth at my advanced age is that I had failed to conceive during my younger years, and I had no children of my own until I grew old. Dr. Isaac Chibet says Namakwaya is healthy.
We went ahead and assessed other organs, the liver, the kidneys, and all, and we noticed she was okay.
Namakwaya had a daughter at the same facility in 2020, again after fertility treatment. She is not the oldest mom. A 73-year-old woman in India gave birth to twin girls in 2019. I'm Ed Donahue.
A magnitude 5.1 earthquake on the Big Island of Hawaii was felt widely, but there have been no reports of damage or injury. The quake struck last evening near the Kilauea volcano. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope your Tuesday's going well. Sunny. Cloudless Tuesday. At least in my window, I don't see any clouds.
No, it's clear blue sky, actually.
Blue. Supposed to be in the 60s.
Good day to go for a flight.
Yes. Like a kite? Or
Kite, small aircraft, twin-engine Cessna, whatever you got. Whatever you're laying around.
Whatever you're laying around in the yard there. So, did you see that explosion in Virginia? Yeah. It was on the news. Apparently some house, I don't know if it was a gas leak or something, in like Arlington, D.C. area. Northern Virginia. I don't know if it was Arlington or one of the Northern Virginia. And they got like footage of it just boom, blowing up. And,
no, I hadn't heard anything about that.
Yeah, it was, I'm going to guess it was not nefarious, just something.
Not meth related?
Yeah, just something like.
Ah, great. So now on top of everything else, now I got to worry about my house just spontaneously combusted. Great.
I'm going to guess there's a gas leak that somebody missed or something. But,
the cat left the gas on.
Yeah, you smell gas. Do something about it. Just a pro tip.
If you smell rotten eggs, don't check your fridge first.
That's right.
You should probably get out.
Probably gas. Yeah, I didn't see all the details about it, but I saw the video footage, and it's a big fireball. It went boom. It was something out of the movies, man. It was, something you see on action
in the
movie.
D.C. area.
Yeah, it was Northern Virginia.
Wow.
It was. I want to say it was Arlington, Virginia. I think is what they said. Maybe it's Alexandria, Virginia. It was one of the A's, one of the A towns there in Northern Virginia. I don't remember which one.
So they're sure it wasn't Santos.
Correct.
Well, I'm just making sure because he said he was going to go out with a bang.
He did say that.
By the way, do you know you can currently book Anthony Santos on Cameo for a mere, I believe, $200. You can have him make you a Cameo video.
Wow.
Yep. Not sure what he would say, and it's probably going to be all lies, but you can get one.
I understand celebrities need money. I get it. You got to get paid. But if you've hit a point in your life where you're basically someone's putting a quarter in you to pay you.
Dance monkey dance. Yeah.
Yes. It seems very
but
low.
But put yourself in those shoes. If you knew you could just record a video of yourself wishing somebody a happy birthday and get $200 in your pocket for it, you wouldn't do it?
I guess I would.
It's kind of the same mindset of going to like the Comic-Cons and paying somebody for their autograph.
Well, here's the difference. You go to Comic-Con, I sign something, give me your money. We'll be done. Now, you want me to perform for you. Tell me a joke. Tell me a story.
Well, not necessarily.
Say something ridiculous to tick off my boyfriend/girlfriend or whatever.
Sure.
And I don't know if I'm just like, look, I'm not here to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see where it could be like an issue, and that's why not all celebrities are on it. Honestly, a lot of them, they
but some
see
of them, like the mighty have fallen. Like you've got Oscar-winning actors and actresses doing this, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You really need to do this at that point? Have you been that badly managing your money?
Yes.
That you now have
the answer is yes.
Say happy birthday, Chuck.
Congratulations on your promotion, Phil.
The test results were negative. Good job. I mean, it just seems like wow. And I'm not sure which is worse. The people willing to do it or the people that actually are going to pay someone $200 to wish them happy birthday. Who's the sadder person here?
Well, one person's going to have $200 more in their pocket.
Right. So. But I would say you're equally sad that you need that kind of.
It's a little easier to dab your tears with dollars, okay? That's all I'm saying.
I'm not, it feels cheap.
It's the American way.
Yes. Like to me, it's the modern version of the.
Oh no, I 100% agree with you that it is bottom of the barrel. Like you've really scratched rock bottom. But just saying, if I can get Danny DeVito to give me his mama's meatball recipe for $150,
I can see some people. Like if you're a YouTube sensation, okay. But yes, if you're Danny DeVito,
right?
You know where you're slumming it? Jersey Mike's. That's where you slum it. Okay, right there. You hawk Jersey Mike's, and that's where you go. You do not.
It's true. You still have
get on Bob's iPhone account to tell him happy birthday or whatever they're doing. You know, I mean that to me is like, all right, that's do 87,000 ads. Like, I need George Clooney selling Nespresso, not doing Cameo. You know what I mean?
I don't think you're gonna find Clooney on Cameo. I'm pretty sure he's doing fine with his Nespresso money. But, with his not Dos Amigos. What was his? Casamigos.
Oh, yeah.
That's his.
Yeah.
They all have one. They all have their own liquor now.
Yeah. Well, what's his name's got aviation gin.
Oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, the Ryan Reynolds, because it's all over the soccer stuff.
Oh, sure.
The Wrexham stuff, which I loved. I finally finished the second season.
Yeah,
I love that show. It's such a warm-hearted, and that's just it. It's a slower show because it's not all action and soccer. It's really telling the stories of these towns and the people and all that, but it sells the story so well. So when this town has a win, you feel it with them. You're like, you're like, to me, it just did a great job of like, because they tell the stories of these families and their very modest lives and things like that. And you kind of like, I want to be there. I want to be in their little warm little community. It seems so nice.
I want to go have a pint at the pub.
Yeah, and then, they've been through so much, as a town with the coal mines and they just like one of those cities that always, we lost so-and-so. It's got that, like they're always fighting, but there always seems to be someone trying to mess with them.
You know what I didn't realize was the tournament, the way it actually works is it's kind of like if you're a bigger team, if you're like a more money team, you basically get a bye week essentially. Like you don't join the tournament play until like the 4th or 5th round.
Yeah. There's being good has its advantages.
Well, not just being good, having the money. Because like I heard, like if you could be the best, club in all of England, but if you don't have the resources, you're still going to have to play the first 4 rounds before Man U jumps in.
Well, and that's just it. You get promoted, which means more money, which means more of all that other stuff.
Right.
But that's just it. It's literally like a thing where and that's where it's hard to fathom in the United States. It's like literally if you have the Premier League is the NFL, but then there's also college and high school,
right?
And in theory, you're like these clubs can, if they get promoted. So in theory, Roswell Coyotes, if they got promoted, could end up being in the NFL,
right?
Which is impossible to think of in that way here, but in England with football, that's how it works. Or Europe with football, it's kind of
that's just how they work in England. They put U's where they don't need U's. They just it's different over there.
But it is kind of cool too, because it really, and in these towns, these little towns, they have their soccer team, and that's the whole town kind of lives and breathes and survives through that team. And so Wrexham's very much of that.
So Artesia.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But even on a bigger scale, and it's like, it's literally like Artesia with football, but on a slightly bigger scale here. And, and it's kind of neat. It's kind of a neat little show, but it's worth a check out. But like I said, if you're looking for action-packed slow or action-packed, it's not, and there's enough Ryan Reynolds and Ryan McElhaney in it to satisfy the fans of those
right
there.
So you get a little bit of humor, but it's also the
but it is a very
story of the club.
Warm story, and to be honest, these guys lucked out.
Yeah,
like they couldn't have written the storybook better. Like it's a reality show with the thing, but because what happened in the real world, it literally gave it the storybook movie happy ending that never really happens in reality. That's kind of happening here.
So here's the question: do they parlay this into a movie? Because you basically explained they've got the fantastic story.
Right.
2 guys come to town, this little fledgling soccer club. They
and
buy
I
them
think
up.
the Wrexham show does that already.
It does, yeah. But could you make a movie off the show? And if so, would Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney play themselves, or do you hire out?
They would have to do a lot of dramatization to make it a palatable movie.
Sure.
Like I think a lot of it is warm and it just doesn't translate to.
Well, you have to remember, I come from the generation of Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah.
Of Remember the Titans.
It could be some of that.
A feel-good sports movie.
It could be some of that.
Probably not now, but I'm thinking like 15, maybe 20 years from now, they can make this story and hire young actors.
Yeah.
Like what's that Matt Rife guy, that new comic everybody's talking about?
Yeah.
He could hire him to play Ryan Reynolds and hire Charlie Day to play Rob McElhenney, which I think would be hysterical. And then just retell the story.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's a possibility. And just as I said, technically the story's not done yet. Like they got promoted, but they're still 5 tiers down. They want to keep getting promoted but they're now in technically the professional league, which is a game changer. That's where it goes from the bigger money, little money to big money. So they've now hit to where it's professional league. So and here's peel back the curtain. This happened because you have 2 Hollywood actors that has spent way more money than most people would have spent on a team of this size and caliber.
Right. And
so, don't get me wrong. Wrexham was a couple tiers down. The players on that team were Premier League players. Like the guys they have on that team. Yes, it's a Cinderella storybook thing. The guys they have on that team, there's a reason why they are number 1 in the league to get promoted. They were dominating everybody because it's basically like having, NFL players play high school players in sports.
Right.
They don't tell you that part, but
There's one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons, early episode, is when Mr. Burns is doing the company softball team, and he gets all the ringers, but they all have jobs at the plant,
right?
So they can bring in Jose Canseco and Daryl Strawberry.
Okay.
A bunch of
people that Mark McGuire maybe.
I was going through the song. You're talking Homer, Ozzy and the Straw. It was Daryl Strawberry. Just a bunch of these, but all these things happened to them before the game. Actually,
right.
They all got injured or hurt or just left.
Right.
And but that's basically it. They came in and hired a bunch of ringers.
Yeah, kind of did. That's kind of what kind of what's going on.
your style.
So, but anyway, it's still good. It's worth a watch.
Now that we're 2 seasons deep, I feel like I can actually binge it and not have to like wait a week.
Yeah, no, you got. I know season 2 had like 15 or 16 episodes. Nice. So, and I can't remember what the first season had, but second season was way more popular because they caught on in the first season. And people were like, whoa, wow, and then because of what happened in real life, got out before the second season of Wrexham actually aired.
Right.
That added to the second season because you all knew at the end of this season they're getting promoted because that's what happened in the real world. And we saw it in real time.
Right.
Like it aired, like the second season, I think they started airing it in September or October of this year. They won the championship and got promoted like back in May of this year. So that was on the internet already.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, all of us were spoiled on that.
But now we get to tell the story that got us there. So
and you kind of see, and it also covers the women's team because it's a whole Wrexham. Like there's a women's team, a male team, a men's team. There's I think there's a youth team and all that. So they kind of it's interesting, but it's a good show, worth a check out. Even I don't care about soccer, but I enjoyed the show. So that's the thing. We do have our interview with Nook from Asian Market. We're going to play that here in just a few minutes, and we got to enjoy some delicious. Oh, man, that ramen was good. I don't know why it was good, but it just hit me right. It was excellent. Rice ramen. Anyway, we got an update from Nook from Asian Market. We're going to play that for you here in just a bit. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking good for the next couple of days. High pressure is set up over the Four Corners region and the Central Rockies. That'll be covering us with sunshine today. Looks like low 60s on the afternoon high, low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll start warming up on Wednesday, sunny and mid 60s. We're back in the low 70s with fair weather again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 44 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 49%. Winds currently out of the north at 12 miles per hour. Sunny today. Expect 62 for a high. Pretty nice. Winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Expect an overnight low of 33 degrees with northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and 65. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 35 degrees, south winds 5 to 10. Thursday, we're going to be in the 70s, sunny and 71, west winds 5 to 10. Friday, also right at 70, sunny skies with a high near 70. I'm going to guess winds are going to be rolling in with Friday and Friday evening because Saturday we're going to be back into the 50s. So we'll drop to 53 for a high on Saturday under sunny skies, and then back up into the 60s, 63 for a high on Sunday. All right, it is 8:22. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break, and then we'll play our interview with Nook from Asian Market. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites, Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7, and the Candlewood Cupboard 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood Gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo. 5-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
At Artesia General Hospital, our emergency department experts care for more than 10,000 people each year. Our emergency department is open 24 hours a day and there's always a doctor on duty. We specialize in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma services, making sure you have access to quality care when every second counts. From unexpected illness to serious injuries, you can trust our team to provide exceptional emergency care in any situation. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
You didn't miss it. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree is this weekend in a brand new location. This Saturday and Sunday at the Artesia Center, 801 North 8th Street. Come and do your holiday shopping at 75 awesome booths, plus food trucks and Santa. Bring the kids to meet Santa Claus Saturday 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. and Sunday 12 noon until 3 p.m. Cost to enter? Free. There will also be a silent auction and a donation box to help Misty Grantham, whose husband was killed by a drunk driver. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree, this Saturday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., this Sunday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m., in the brand new location, the Artesia Center, 801 North 8th Street. Free admission, food trucks, 75 booths. It's our Christmas wonderland. To learn more, visit our Facebook page at Yucca Blossom.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in And good morning. It is 9:39, and joining us in studio with things. No,
Wait a minute.
Well, she's got stuff. It looks like ramen, but she's secret.
I'm not going to tell no one. I'm not going to tell no one.
So it's secret. She's got things. So, but Nook with Asian Market back with us. Good morning, Nook.
Good morning, Mike, and good morning, Roswell.
How's things at the restaurant this morning?
It's good.
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
For folks that are not familiar, Asian Market, which is located there on South Main.
Yes, sir.
If just look for the big blue sign
Big
there.
blue sign.
As you're heading south towards the college, you'll see it there on your right.
Yes.
And look for the big steel building there.
Mm-hmm.
The front of the store is a market. It is a full Asian market. If you're looking for things from all across Asia, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Thai, you got a little bit of everything there.
Yes, exactly.
If the foods to make the ingredients and even some of the equipment to make the woks and the things, like if you want to make your own sushi, stuff like that, she's got all the gear you need to do that.
If you want to make your own sticky rice, you want to cook your own jasmine rice,
You got
we
the
got it
proper
all.
instruments and tools you need to do that.
Yes, sir. Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. I wonder. I can't look at myself in that.
Oh, we don't have the TV. Yeah, the TV's not working right now.
So I don't know how pretty I am today.
You're good to go.
Oh, thank you.
You're all good to go. Yeah,
Thank you.
It's working everywhere but in this room.
Not this one.
Yeah, everything
Everywhere
else
is work.
Yeah, if you turn on the regular one, it's working. Just not in this room.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I'm look okay.
You look great,
still.
and they are seeing everything.
Thank you.
But the market is one side. But then if you're like, I don't want to make it, I just want to eat it.
Yeah, you can.
Then come on back, because the restaurant is in the back, in the side of the store there, and they serve lunch and dinner and have amazing.
Yes.
And I say this every time, and because it's the absolute truth. If I ever went to Thailand and had dinner in some family's home there, that's what I think Asian market.
Come to my home.
Cuisine is like. I always equate your cooking to, like, we all have Chinese food, but it comes from usually a Chinese food restaurant. So I would think if I went to a place in Asia anywhere and had a meal, it's going to be much more like Asian markets.
Thank you.
Foods.
Yes,
it's like from home, from heart. It's like mom's making you food kind of thing. But with the Asian flair.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, like I say every time, if it, like the best chicken fried rice I've ever had, is right there.
Here come again. I'm gonna have cooked a lot of rice again today.
But that, if that's what gets people in the door to try the other stuff. Because
you know what? It's kind of weird. People is just, I don't know. They probably have a sense of something.
Yeah.
Someday I kind of like, I cook a lot of fried rice. It's just kind of, oh my God, my hand hurt. It's kind of like that. And someday is sweet and sound going so good.
So people just have a different desire that particular day, it seems like.
And one of the day, next day, going to General Sound.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of, you guys have been talking.
It's like they had a meeting. And said, we're all going to want General Sound today. Tomorrow we're going to want beef and broccoli or fried rice.
Yes, just like that.
What about soups? Because this is soup season for me.
Yes, sir. I have soup every day.
Yeah, she has some great soups. So if you love soups, she always has at least 3 or 4 different delicious soups for you to pick from usually.
Yes, we got rice soup that you can pick your own meat, chicken, seafood, shrimp, or whatever. And then we got some Thai noodle soup.
Nice.
Have wonton. We have egg drop. We have egg noodle soup too.
Yeah.
That's got some red pork and then some wonton that I make it.
I love those soups. They're all great.
Thank you.
And so now that we're getting a little colder weather,
yes,
people tend to gravitate towards soups a little bit.
Exactly.
If you're looking for some delicious homemade soups, Asia Market's got you covered.
Thank you.
So if it's soup season for you too, make sure you visit Asia Market. I guarantee you're going to be like, okay, you'll have a bowl for lunch. You're like, hey, can I get like a big container to take to home so I can have it later in the day? Because
you can do it.
Tasty.
You can have it.
And that's the beauty of soup. Soup is always better the next day. Like soup, like it's got to percolate in its own.
It just takes time to make a broth.
Yeah, it's got to percolate and
you can't just throw a thing in there and then get it and make it taste good. It's not like that.
You got to let it simmer and marry together.
Yes, just take time and you're patient.
Absolutely.
That's another thing.
And so, it's going to be delicious day one, but then the next day after it's sat overnight in the fridge and then heat it back up, it's even better. It is even better. But Nook that's what she does. She takes these and then she gets, so if you want to make these things yourself, she has all the ingredients to do that. Do. If you love to make your own Asian dishes, but you've been having trouble finding the ingredients you need to do that, take a trip to Asian Market.
Yes,
I guarantee if she doesn't have what you want, she's like, I can talk to the people and work it.
I will try.
You constantly, that's kind of your, when you're not busy cooking food and making all these meals for folks, you're busy.
I go sleep.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But a lot of it is working with your merchants and things so you can procure these different dishes from the Orient or different types of foods or ingredients. Yes, there's not a big demand for duck eggs and things, but in Asian cuisine there is, and they have it there if you want it. So good deal. So, if you want to come just to eat, Asian Market has you covered. But if you want to kind of learn or make or do something or create your own stuff, like if you like soy sauce, she has like 60 different types of soy sauce. It's not like you just go to the grocery store. It's like there's the green bottle and the red bottle. There's more than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sriracha sauce. She's got different types of sriracha.
Now I think I got 3 different kinds of sriracha due to the shortage on the market. Remember on the last show?
Yeah.
And now this time I got 3 different brands.
So you carry like the other types, and so if you want to like those, but you want to go a little deeper into that or maybe slightly different. And they've got everything from sweets to snacks to frozen foods to meal, vegetables and meats and things like that.
Yes, I do. I don't have them.
But she also has like different Asian candy treats, like once in a while, and they're different every time.
And especially this week, probably the schedule is gonna be set on Wednesday.
Okay.
I said I have 5 pallets coming.
And it's all unique stuff and different. If you love ramen, she has about probably 300 different types of ramen in there.
I got a lot of ramen. I got a lot of
so many.
ramen.
So if you want to go sweet or savory or larger or smaller or more.
Or you want to hurt yourself? We have it there too.
Or if you just want the bare bones to kind of create it yourself and bake your own flour, she's got all of that.
It's just so easy with the ramen we have over there.
So she's brought some stuff today.
Yeah.
And I see it here. So I'm going to shut up and let you tell me what you have here.
Okay. I brought 2 kind of ramen.
Okay.
And both of them is made from rice. Made from rice.
Okay, it's rice based.
Noodle. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Rice noodle. One is just thinner, one is just a little thicker.
Okay.
It got 2 different flavors. I let you pick. Mini, mini, more.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's start with this one would be my list.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm just randomly picking one here.
All right.
So.
And then I bring you some weapon.
Ah, okay.
I heard many times that we've been talking about. You know how to use some chopstick today.
I do, but not with soup so much. But I can do it.
I brought you some pink chopstick, mate.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oops, there it goes.
Here we go.
It smells great. I can
Thank
tell.
you.
I can tell just by opening it here how good this.
Yeah.
How good this smells.
And if you can, let me see if you can do. You can't do it. I
do it this way.
Yeah. I got you a spare.
I got I can work this.
Okay.
I can do it.
All right.
I can do it.
But I got you some spare too.
I can do it.
Ah, you're good.
I can do this.
You're good. And here, this is for your broth. But you want to you
The
want to
pasta's
do
good.
You want to do it just like a Japanese style?
Slurp.
Yep. Just like that.
I'm telling you that. Oh, I love the little. It's got a little heat at the back end.
It's just a little.
Just a little bit.
But me, I have to put some salt because I kind of eat a little salty.
This soup right here.
Uh-huh.
You know how when you get a cold and you want to eat chicken noodle soup or something?
Yeah.
This is what you need to go with. Jocelyn, you want to get in some of this? Where's Sean at? All right, I was about to say I ain't seen Sean in a while.
Oh, you guys, I'm hungry too, so I'm gonna.
You gonna
some
sample
for myself?
I've had some of this ramen already, and it is delicious.
Sean.
It's not closed. Be careful.
Hey, Sean is back. Sean's back. I want to see Sean use a chopstick.
Oh no! Come on! I haven't done it in years. It's been so long.
You have a fresh pair? You can have mine. Do you have another pair for him?
I didn't use this one yet. You can go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I do have a cold.
So
I don't want to.
I'm gonna use something that's easy for me. And here we go, ma'am.
Oh, that is a 10. I'd eat that all day. And it's these right here, right?
Noodles, right?
No.
Yeah,
that's
these
the
are
rice. That's
these
the
are rice
kind.
noodles. Yeah.
This is a wheat kind. This is wheat. That's rice. You wanna use this?
Oh, here you go.
I'm sorry.
Make sure you
Here
get
we
some of
go.
the broth too.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat too because I'm hungry. I didn't eat anything yet.
What's the flavor on this?
She hadn't told me yet.
No, I forgot.
I
forgot.
To me, it's like
I put the bag on the trash over
well, the
there.
broth to me has that.
It's a slight spice to it, a little bit of.
It's got a chicken and noodle like broth with a zip to it,
A bit, it's the zip that comes at the end.
which I love. That's why I said this is like the perfect one.
Oh, can you turn me on?
Oh yeah, I should do that. Huh?
Can you turn me on, Mike?
Yes, I can.
Let me talk.
And I need to try the one Jocelyn.
Yeah, I'm
I
passing
think.
that one over.
Okay, that's one I haven't
It's on the
tried
way.
yet. That-
They're almost the same, but it's just different types of the noodle.
Well, see,
but
and-
like I told you, the noodle is made from rice.
Well, here's the difference too.
I actually prefer this noodle here.
Like eating this ramen.
This one is great.
Like this tastes way better than like your little cup of noodle soup thingies. You know, like that a lot of people get.
Oh, that's great.
I want to
this is
bring.
a-
I
this
want to
got a
bring
thinner
another
noodle.
one.
That one had that.
But that other kind take time to do it. This one, all you can do is just hot water and pour the noodle, pour the seasoning in it, and then cover it up for about 3 minutes, and then you got the meal. So this is so easy,
Yeah.
and it costs only $1.19.
It's ramen is one of those. It's one of those meals
these
that
are
like
good.
has made generations.
Who else wants some more of this?
I'm actually low on this one. But this, the consistency of the noodles, because these are a little bit of a thicker rice noodle. This one, I'm not sure. You said they're both rice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
both.
both
right.
made
I'm
from
trying to
rice.
decide which I like better. I'm leaning a little with the bigger noodle, but they're both.
They're both
a
really
10.
good.
They're both excellent.
You
I would
can
eat
have
that.
it. I'm good.
You want some more of this one, Mike?
No, y'all finish. I'm gonna. I would eat the
Am I
whole
gonna
thing.
wait for
Make
another
me
one?
and
I
Sean
need to
look
talk.
great.
So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love that. Is
They're
and these
so
are just two
good.
of the massive variety of.
so.
different
Let
ramens
me
you can have
ask
there.
you, Nook.
Yeah.
How do you prepare those? Is it simple, just microwave and water?
Just you can do hot water, you can do microwave,
Okay.
and then it's only
Just heat up the water and pour it in and let it rip.
Yes,
Just like that.
yes.
The old
Okay.
school,
Just like
the
that.
college method.
I didn't know
make
if you. I didn't know if you went a little fancier with it or
no,
whatever.
you
'cause-
want to do fancy? I show you the fancy at the restaurant.
Okay.
You can make it in a coffee maker if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
exactly.
It was. That's why I was asking because I was tasting. It didn't taste like just nuked real quick. You know, it tasted a little more like homemade.
Easy
ramen-y.
and simple.
Yeah, it doesn't taste manufactured. Like you know what I mean? Does that
It's
make sense?
warm.
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
On a day like today, it's warm. It's nice.
Yeah. And then with the cold day, with the snow day,
Yep.
your meal is made. Your meal is cost only $1.19, and take only 3 minutes.
And that's the beauty of it. You know,
yeah.
go try all the flavors. If one that you might hit one you don't like, that's okay. Try the other ones.
And I got so many kind of different kind of noodle. This one I brought today is made from rice, and this one I brought today too is my snack. I brought this before.
You eat them like chips or whatever.
I
Yeah.
eat, this is my
A little bit of water in there, and you put the seasoning packet.
Yeah, she's done that with us. We just eat them like a bag of chips.
Yeah, road trip for me. That's my road trip thing.
We'll see. Well, that's what I'm saying. That this is survival food.
Absolutely.
And what are we gonna do?
Like if you go backpacking or camping,
Yeah.
you could live all. Just it'd be lightweight. You just need some water. You're good to go.
And this one is the same. How to cook? It takes only 3 minutes.
And I've eaten a lot of MREs. Those taste way better.
Just only 3 minutes. All we're gonna do, we're just gonna crunch it.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys have fun.
Well, thank you. Thank
You're
you. Thank
welcome.
you.
Here we go. Another one.
Now,
crumb it up.
And I'm going to remind you guys, come for a visit. First time, come and be prepared to spend a few minutes visiting.
Yes.
Because there's so much to see and do. Like if you love like the teas and the juices and the drinks, you've got a whole section with all the Asian teas and juices. And there's something different every time.
We got a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's fixing to come on Wednesday, like I said. So the next 5 more pallets coming in.
Good
if you
deal.
guys not busy, just come help me.
Come, yeah. She does need to.
Put stuff on the shelves.
And she might feed you.
They have fun, and I feed you guys.
There you go.
How's that?
Hey, I am in.
That's a good way to do it. Hey, what day is Stock the Shelf Day? We invite everyone up. Wednesday. Come out Wednesday. The Asian market, come stock the shelves and Nichols feed you.
We can call it a walk and stock.
Yeah.
You stock, I'll run the walk. And then at the end, this is
I like it.
There you go.
Come and have a meal and get the shelf stocked back up.
That's a big old party right
I
there.
like it. But come on by. You can also follow Asian Market on Facebook.
Yes.
I highly recommend you do because in case some days if Nook can't be
Yes.
open, that's the way she lets everybody
It's
know.
the thing.
Or if there's something new in stock.
Yes.
Like you've been waiting for it. That's how you find out is through
It's on
Nook's
Facebook.
page. So follow Asian Market. Just do Asian Market Roswell NM.
Yes.
And it'll pop right up. You'll find it should be at the top of the
Exactly.
page. You can like and follow it.
And by the way, I'm here on Christmas.
Okay.
I'm gonna be closed from Christmas Eve, from 24
Okay.
until the 7th on January.
Okay. Are you gonna go visit family?
No,
Just
gonna kick back
spend
and
the
relax.
holiday with
Yes.
your family here and
with
do
the girl. Mhm.
So what do you do for Christmas? What's like some of your family traditions?
I'm planning to do nothing.
That's a good plan. For Christmas, we do the tradition of
Yep.
nothing.
We plan to do nothing.
Nothing is our tradition. I love that tradition. The tradition of nothing. Yes. I'm going to start the tradition of nothing.
Yeah.
What's the-
That's the best thing.
Hey, nothing wrong.
Our tradition is nothing. You did that last year? No, that's not their tradition. Nothing is their tradition.
That's the best. That's the best kind of Christmas.
I love it.
I just gonna be wake up late, being lazy.
Right, not cooking.
Yeah, not cooking.
Not cooking.
You wanna eat? Cook yourself.
What'd you do for Thanksgiving?
Me? Thanksgiving? Okay, we cook some ham. We have a little party.
Okay.
With
Now, did you
close
cook? Or did
no.
other people cook?
You know what? I am not cooking ham and turkey. So
Not what you do, huh?
No. I
Now-
don't have that big a patience to do that.
Now-
no, too long.
It's a lot.
But if you
I did
cut it
not
up and
cook
put it in
this
a
week.
wok,
For
then we'll make the ham and turkey, as an ingredient. Like you could put that in ramen.
That'd be interesting to have like a turkey stir fry.
Yeah.
Or turkey fried
Why
rice.
not? They do a chicken?
Yeah.
I
They do a chicken, why not?
I tried turkey fried rice. If you use like the dark meat,
I
feel like
love
it'd be,
dark
it'd
meat.
be a lot more.
And pork gets
succulent.
used a lot, if it's already smoked ham, why not?
Well, I still have ham in refrigerator, so I should have brought that.
We could have finished off your Thanksgiving
Yeah.
meal.
That's right. Although, I don't know.
Actually, according to the USDA, I should probably inform you. You should probably toss that thing.
Okay, we're not gonna bring it to the radio. We're just gonna go eat in the back office. How's that?
I officially cleaned out
You cleaned it
the
out?
Thanksgiving over the weekend.
Oh my
There was the things of cranberry and stuffing and all that didn't quite get devoured. I finally
Now, you
retired.
You did look at it once before you threw it. You're like, maybe, nah.
Maybe it's
And then you
good.
threw it out?
No.
Okay.
I
Can I
said,
risk that?
I did not look. I said, be gone with you.
I know you not.
And be gone it went.
Maybe it's a good thing I'm gonna do. I still have ham left in my refrigerator. I'm gonna do ham fried rice.
There you go.
Chop it up.
There you go.
Put it
And
in
I'm
the-
telling you, she makes the best fried rice, so it's going to be delicious.
So it's gonna be fun.
But come by the Asian Market today. Come for lunch. Come
Yes.
do some shopping. What's your normal business hours, Nook?
My normal business hours for store, Monday to Saturday from 10 to 6.
Okay.
And for the restaurant, Monday to Saturday, 11 to 6.
There you go. So if you get there at 10 and it's not ready to eat, come shop.
Yes.
And then hang out, and then we'll put your order in a little before
put the
11.
stuff on the shelf for me.
That's right.
While you're waiting.
That's right. While you're there, I got a box of these canned duck eggs. Need to go up on.
It's right there. That's where it belongs.
I got some tilapia needs to go in the freezer over here. Yeah.
It's good, huh?
New soup come in. We got a whole shelf here of that stuff. And then, but I'm telling you right now, you better really like wasabi if you eat them Kit Kats. Because if you come across one of them wasabi Kit Kats, you better like wasabi. Because if you don't, it's gonna put a punch on you.
It's definitely interesting. Yeah.
I will add some extra for you.
There you go. There you go. But come on down. They're on Main Street.
Yes.
If you're heading towards the college, look for the big blue sign there on Main Street, and for the big blue steel building there, and that's where it's at. Again, all the market sides, the front, and then the restaurant, the kitchen's in the back there.
Yes.
And of course, they did add additional seating a couple of years ago off to the side, so they got plenty of seating there on the side.
On the left-hand side.
So
when
bring
you
your
walk
friends and come and make a whole big meal out of it.
Right.
And if I could, just good soup.
No way. Wait a minute.
The ramen's a 10.
I said that one is called $1.19, right? For Sean, it's called $5.59.
Fair enough. I understand.
I love it.
There you go.
The inflation is necessary. I understand.
And that's the packaged food. That's not her homemade stuff that she's got in the back. This is the packaged food. It's not even the homemade
It just
stuff.
means we have to go there for lunch. Then.
Yeah, you guys need to eat that thing.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
Let's try this.
We need to
We'll
cook
open
it
this
up.
real
That's what
quick.
we did after our hot chip challenge. I remember a couple years ago we were doing that Pocky chip challenge.
Okay.
And I had lunch at Asian Market after that, after my victorious thing. So very good. We got to go. I just saw the time of the show here. Thank you very much, Nook.
Yes,
so
sir.
appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Have a great Christmas if I don't see you between now and then. Hopefully I do. But
please, before I go, can I say
yes,
something?
Yes, you may.
My phone number is 575-840-5309.
That's
if
right.
you would love to make an order for pickup, or you would love to want to dine in, please call that number.
And parties and stuff that are coming.
Yes.
She does do catering for
Yes.
that. So if you need a big old thing of that fried rice, she'll be happy to talk to you
Yes.
about that. Or if you need a thing of General Tso's chicken,
Yes, sir.
or a big thing of soup, she got you
No
covered.
fried rice today.
No fried rice today.
I'm just kidding.
Unless you ask nice.
All right. Thank you, Roswell.
Thank you very
Mike.
much. Well, thank you, Nook. We'll see you next time, okay?
Okay.
All right, it's 10 o'clock. You're...
Ignacio Galindo was convicted for killing his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. He was also convicted for child abuse and tampering with evidence and aggravated stalking. Galindo claimed he was acting in self-defense and that Martinez pointed a gun at him first, despite evidence at trial showing that Galindo had broken into the home through a window. And the state Supreme Court also heard oral arguments Monday in a redistricting case after the November appeal of a lower court ruling that keeps the state's current congressional map the same. After oral arguments on Monday, the justices did not make a ruling. The plaintiffs in the case, including the New Mexico GOP and Roswell Mayor Tim Jennings, claim the map adopted by the Democratic-led legislature 2 years ago is an egregious partisan gerrymander that violates the state's constitution. For instance, Chavez County is split up between all three state U.S. House districts under the newly redrawn boundaries. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Hi, everyone. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. Coach McCarthy talks about a December gauntlet of tough games right after this.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond, at McAllenAirport.com.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy says the upcoming December schedule that includes games that start Sunday with the Eagles, followed by more playoff contenders, the Bills, Dolphins, and Lions, lines up nicely for the Cowboys.
I really do like the stretch that we're getting ready to be on in this, and I'll talk to the team more about this on Wednesday, but, when you look at the teams that we're getting ready to line up, this is an excellent opportunity for us to play in playoff-type games without playoff consequences, and I think that serves very well. Because December football is something that personally I've always enjoyed. I think it's a great indication of where you are as a team and what you need to obviously do to get into the playoffs and be ready for the playoffs. So we're looking for it. I mean, it's the Cowboys and the Eagles. I don't think you have to say anything more than that.
Eagles Cowboys is prime time Sunday night. With your Cowboys report, I'm Christy Scales.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking good for the next couple of days. High pressure is set up over the Four Corners region and the Central Rockies. That'll be covering us with sunshine today. Looks like low 60s on the afternoon high, low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll start warming up on Wednesday, sunny and mid 60s. We're back in the low 70s with fair weather again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Wall Street slightly lower. Apple iPhone sales climbing. Stocks off to a slow start in December. All three major indexes down yesterday. The NASDAQ slipped more than 100 points. Chip makers the worst hit. Stocks on the index. Intel shed 3%. NVIDIA down 2%. The first of several key jobs updates this week. The October JOLTS report, job openings forecast down slightly from September when layoffs hit a 9-month low. Tomorrow, the ADP private payroll report. Friday, the official November Labor Department report. Spotify stock climbing. The music streaming company announcing it's cutting 17% of its workforce next year. Spotify shares jumped 7% on the news. Meta Platform CEO Mark Zuckerberg selling some of his stock, 682,000 shares. It's the first time Zuckerberg sold Meta stock in 2 years. Shares of the Facebook parent up more than 150% this year, but slid about 4% over the past week. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
A cyber attack happens every 39 seconds. If you didn't insist that your IT security team call Arison, before you know it, it's too late. Your company network gets attacked, your client data gets stolen, your bank accounts get drained, then the lawsuits come and you're in hot water. Arison's Cyber Z Suite ensures total network coverage and best practice-based zero-trust cybersecurity. Get protected. Call Arison today to schedule a no-obligation consultation. 908-878-7717. 908-878-7717. That's Arison. ERACENT.com.
A snoring partner is more than a rough night's sleep for you. It could lead to some serious problems. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Snoring, stopping breathing, and gasping for air in the middle of the night aren't just a pain for you. It could be a sign of sleep apnea, which can result in a lot more problems for both of you. Luckily, we can help. With our revolutionary oral appliance, you and your partner can breathe easier and get a better night's sleep.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8:55. Got a few minutes here before top of the hour news and all that. Stay tuned next hour. About 9:15, we're going to play our interview we had yesterday in the 7 o'clock hour with Amalia Martinez. She is the clerk for the city of Roswell. We also had Christina Arnold, Ward 1 city councilor, join us. And so we just talked a little bit about the clerk's office and what they do. So we're going to play that interview for you next hour. Couple of events coming up on Saturday I want to put on your radar. The first one is the Salvation Army. They would love to invite you and everyone out to their pancake breakfast fundraiser. It's a buffet fundraising event. They actually do this on the second Saturday of every month. But this Saturday, December 9th, is the second Saturday. And they love to invite everyone out between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. To the Salvation Army, which is at 612 West College. Here in Roswell for a pancake buffet breakfast. I believe they're also going to be having an omelet bar as well as part of it. And the cost is only $7 for all-you-can-eat buffet. $7. Children 5 through 10, $4. And 5 and under are free. All the proceeds for the breakfast go to help the Salvation Army do what they do. But that is this Saturday. And mark it on your calendars. The second Saturday of every month, come out for a great, affordable, delicious breakfast, and you're helping Salvation Army do their great work at the same time. So that's this Saturday, and then mark it every second Saturday, 7 to 11. Contact the Salvation Army if you have any questions about that information. They'll be happy to tell you. Also on Saturday, the public is invited out, especially if you are a church or nonprofit. On Saturday, the Gonzales Hope Warming Center is having a community walkthrough event on Saturday, and they invite the public to come out and do the walkthrough from 2 to 3 on Saturday, and then they're going to be doing volunteer training from 3 to 4, and it's going to be Saturday, December 9th from 2 to 4 p.m., and if you're not familiar, it's at 405 East 3rd Street. This is the Roswell Community Disaster Relief, partnering with Many Hands Roswell. If you have any questions about the event, you can contact Jocelyn Smith. You can reach her at 575-208-9509. Again, that's 575-208-9509. If you want to come and ask questions and want more information about the event, want to be involved with the training, and of course, if you want to do the walkthrough from 2 to 3 to kind of learn what the warming center is, what they do, and then be a part of the training and things afterwards here. So this is one of those events where it's the community gets together to solve problems. And so that's one of those events on Saturday. So please make plans to attend if you've got time to do that. That'd be a good thing. Let's see. What else did I want to... Oh, also, by the way, too, back to the Salvation Army here. Of course, they've got their bell ringers, and they're going to be at places all around town: Walmart, Sam's, Farmers, Albertsons, both Albertsons, Hobby Lobby, Walgreens on North Main. But they also have their Angel Tree locations. These are for individual children in need of toys and clothes for the Christmas season. If you'd like to go to one of these locations and you can pick up a thing for the Angel Tree to make a purchase for clothing or toys for Christmas for these kids, the Angel Tree locations are Walmart Supercenter, Sam's Club, Pioneer Banks, the one on South Sunset, the one at St. Mary's Place on the south end there, and then the one on North Pennsylvania as well. Crossroads Church at 1224 West Country Club, First United Methodist Church, 200 North Pennsylvania, and you can go to either the Roswell Toyota or Roswell Nissan dealerships and pick up your name or your thing for Angel Tree drop-off location there. So, again, that's another way you can get involved and help out is if you want to purchase a new toy or clothing for children this season, you can drop them off at any of those locations: Walmart, Sam's, any Pioneer Bank, Crossroads Church, First United Methodist Church, and Roswell Toyota or Roswell Nissan. Either one of those will get them there. All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Like I said, stay tuned next hour. We're going to have our interview we had with Amelia Martinez and also Christina Arnold, City Councilor, talking about the clerk's office. Amelia is our Roswell City Clerk and talks a little bit about everything from, the election stuff, but, permits and all the records, the official keeper of everything, the records. That's what the clerk does. So we'll talk about that next hour. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A Senate panel is hearing from FBI Director Christopher Wray this morning. It's the Judiciary Committee's annual FBI oversight hearing, and among other things, Wray is urging reauthorization of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act due to expire at month's end.
Committee Chairman Senator Dick Durbin plans to seek more information on everything from the FBI's handling of FISA warrants to border security and children's online safety. This year's hearing may include strong political overtones. There's growing concern among Republicans. The FBI has become a tool in the Democrats' arsenal to attack President Biden's political adversaries, most notably former President Trump. Bob Agnew reporting.
The Senate preparing to take up President Biden's request for more military aid for Israel and Ukraine. A test vote expected tomorrow in the upper house of Congress. After warning Palestinian civilians to evacuate nearly 24 neighborhoods, Israel's military has launched an aerial assault on Hamas operations in the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis. President Biden's poll numbers remain weak at best.
According to the Real Clear Politics average of polls, 40% of Americans approve of Joe Biden's job performance, while nearly 56% disapprove. Recent public opinion surveys continue to show low approval ratings fueled by unhappiness over the president's handling of the economy. With only 40% approval, Mr. Biden trails Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and George W. Bush at the same point in their first term in office. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A police standoff at a house in a Washington, D.C. suburb yesterday ended with a fiery explosion. It was felt for blocks around. A home in Arlington, Virginia was engulfed in a massive fireball and a shower of debris. On Wall Street, the Dow down 70 points, NASDAQ up 91. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A conflict involving Tesla in Sweden is spreading next door.
Transport workers in Denmark say they'll take industrial action in solidarity with workers in Sweden against the Texas-based automaker. Tesla is non-unionized globally, but the Swedish workers are demanding that the car makers sign a collective bargaining agreement. Tesla has no manufacturing plant in Sweden, but has several service centers. The United Federation of Workers in Denmark says there's been speculation that Tesla would deliver its cars to Danish ports and transport them on trucks to Sweden after Swedish dock workers blocked the reception of Tesla cars there. Jeremy House reporting.
The European Union's Home Affairs Commissioner warns that Europe faces a huge risk of terrorist attacks over the Christmas holiday period. Her warning comes days after a man stabbed a tourist to death and injured 2 other people with a hammer near the Eiffel Tower. News and analysis at townhall.com. The city of Detroit is on track to record its fewest yearly homicides in almost 6 decades.
Through November 30th, Detroit had recorded 228 homicides, an 18% decrease over the same period last year. In 2018, Detroit had 261 homicides, the fewest since the 214 homicides recorded in 1966. Officials on Monday credited a partnership between the city, Wayne County, and the state that improves coordination among agencies and courts. It also has resulted in a 36% drop in carjackings and 13% decrease in non-fatal shootings. Officials formed the coalition in 2021 to improve the local criminal justice system. Keith Peters reporting.
No reports of serious damage or injuries from a 5.1 magnitude earthquake that shook Hawaii's Big Island last evening. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says the quake was centered near the Kilauea volcano. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Mornings. Con, Mike Winters. Con. It's all my Spanish, I know. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hope your Tuesday's going amazingly well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I just found out something I never knew, and I guarantee you didn't either.
Okay.
Did you know John Mellencamp?
Okay.
Johnny Cougar, John Cougar Mellencamp, whatever you want to call him.
Whatever incarnation of the John Cougar Mellencamp.
Did you know he was decapitated once?
Apparently, I did not know that.
According to Esquire magazine, he said, quote, "I was born with spina bifida. I had my head cut off when I was 6 weeks old. There were 3 other kids who had that same operation that day. The other kids died, and I lived." He said, "One girl made it for a while, and I used to see her at basketball games. She was paralyzed from the neck down. She didn't know what she was about, or when she was about, I don't know, like 13 is when she said she died. But decapitated at 6 weeks old." I'm just saying, that's maybe the most rock star thing I've ever heard about John Mellencamp in my life.
I got to hear more details. I feel like I don't think quite he was decapitated. I feel like Maybe they severed
They
something.
severed the spinal cord or something.
I feel like they didn't like take his head off and put it on the
that's
table.
what I picture. They just set it next to all the other kids' heads.
Right.
Somebody bumps the table and God!
All right, keep an eye on that. We're gonna need that back. But I mean that's
just blow it off, just rub it on your leg.
I think I need some more details.
Because you also remember this is back, when medicine was sort of like, kind of backwards.
Yeah.
Like we didn't really know what we were doing back in the day.
So are you saying that we should give him a pass on sucking on chili dogs?
Maybe that's the one part of the brain that was affected. No, John, you want to chew that?
Yeah, eat it. No, don't do that, John.
Still to this day, one of my favorite versions of that song. Somebody took the whole song and just redid it with the words "sucking on a chili dog."
Really?
Sucking on a chili dog, sucking on a chili dog, sucking on a dog, sucking on a chili dog.
I like
it.
It should be a hit too.
I'm telling you.
I bet it'd hit the charts if we could get that going. Casey Kasem be talking all about it. We're going
this next record.
We're going to suck on chili dogs. Oh man. Well, no. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to go look up John Cougar Mellencamp's decapitation.
Yeah.
See what all that's all about.
Walt Disney took one look at him and said, "I can do it too."
That's right. Him and who else has been accused of freezing their head? Roger Maris. I think
Roger Maris was
another one in the lexicon of fairy tales.
Personally, if you're gonna go cryo, I mean, go full hog.
Right.
I mean, don't cut the head off.
I saw Demolition Man. They did they did the whole body.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Stallone got cryo freeze, it was the whole body.
Right.
And then he showed up, and learned about the seashells later, which they still haven't taught us the seashells.
Yeah. There are tutorials online
on the seashells.
On the seashells,
really?
Yes.
I'm going to look that up because I'm still stumped to this day how the seashells work.
It's not the cleanest process.
I'm about to say I don't know if I want to know.
There's a scraper side.
That's
all it needs to
be.
And
this is better than toilet paper.
Apparently,
again,
yeah. I don't know exactly, but
then again, you got to remember, we talk like this is some great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, all restaurants were called Taco Bell in that movie.
That's true.
So maybe it's not a good idea.
Things probably not moving through in one fluid movement.
Yeah, just say maybe they botched this one. Maybe
one solid movement.
There's a whole generation of kids. What the heck are they talking about? Seashells? And what are they talking about? Yeah.
Cinematic masterpiece is what we're talking about.
That's right.
Open up your eyes. Stop watching Bluey reruns.
Although I ain't gonna lie, if I was sitting back in the day watching Demolition Man in theaters and all that, I'm not thinking this is going to be a cinematic masterpiece 20 years later.
That's true. That is true.
But it is better than most people think.
All Wesley Snipes was thinking at the time was, "Bro, I should go pay my taxes."
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if what's his name still has that car?
Stallone or
no? Shoot, his name just went right out of my. Dennis Leary.
Oh,
remember he lived in the subway?
Yeah,
and he drove the one gas car, that old Camaro, I think it was, that souped up 69 Camaro or whatever it was he had.
The one gas car. Well, we swung and missed on that prophecy.
Well, he couldn't drive it like in town.
Yeah,
he only drove it like in the sewers, which I'm like, granted they created a whole network down there.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's where all the fried chicken and all the good stuff, full-size cigarettes and everything else that they had. I always love future vices in movies. Like, to this day, it makes me laugh every time The Fifth Element, and you see Bruce Willis pull out his those cigarettes that are like 6 feet of filter and 1 inch of cigarette, and he's only got 5 per day or whatever it is that he can smoke. I love future movies that show the future in weird ways like that.
That's always fun to me to go back and there's on YouTube right now, Walter Cronkite narrating some special from like the 60s of like what life in 2020 would look like, and it's pretty out there. There were a couple that they got right, like the video calls, video messaging and stuff like that. That they
nailed all that. Yeah,
but there's definitely some swings and misses in there.
You know what I need to do? Because I haven't watched this cartoon in a child. I need to watch like the Jetsons in adult eyes.
Well, and there's memes floating around that you'll see that they're like they actually got a lot of it right.
Yeah.
The robot assistants, the video calling.
I bet there's probably more there that is like, oh, yeah, we got that.
Working from home, but then there's also like the one thing that always got me about that show is it's only the future because it's up in the sky,
right?
But yet they have an unguarded treadmill just outside of the dome.
Yeah.
That George regularly trips on, falls off of. Nobody thought to maybe put some safeguards there, a net, something.
Like we have cars and briefcases, bubble cars and briefcases.
And
at this point, but
if the Hanna-Barbera canon is to be believed, up here's the future. If he falls off that treadmill, down here is bedrock. Down here is the prehistoric time, the Flintstones.
Yeah, the Flintstones are down there.
So he falls off that treadmill. He's literally going back in the past.
Yeah. I wonder if there was ever a crossover.
Are you serious?
I don't know. I have not seen
the Jetsons meet the Flintstones.
I have not seen that crossover.
That's what I'm referencing. It's like one of the greatest crossovers in the history
I've never
of cartoons.
watched it.
It's fantastic.
Not on my lexicon.
That's sort of it was like the standard for the crossover.
Yeah.
Like it happened before that, but that was the one like in my generation.
Never in my life
kids,
have I seen that crossover.
Oh, it was magic. There's certain crossovers when I was a kid that still to this day I get goosebumps thinking about.
Yeah.
There's one specifically called Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue.
Okay.
This came out in 1988, 89, somewhere around there. It was released, they showed it in schools because we watched it in our school. And it was released by the Ronald McDonald House, I believe. Basically, it was this older brother gets involved with drugs.
Okay.
And the younger sister is trying to like get him off drugs with the help of all these different cartoon characters.
Okay.
And it was, when I was a kid, this was a huge deal because it was like all of Garfield and Friends, Alf was there, the Chipmunks were there,
all the intellectual
Bugs
property.
Bunny, and then also Disney characters. And it was like all these different like studios that hated each other work together for one shining moment to get kids off of drugs.
We are the world.
That's right. It was a magical moment.
Now I want to see that.
You actually still can. It's on YouTube
on the
in
YouTube?
its entirety.
Well, what about the Jetsons Flintstones crossover?
You'll probably find that too, I'm sure.
Because I don't know how it missed my radar. I've never watched it, seen it, or know anything about it.
Matter of fact, it's on there in its entirety, up to and including George H.W. and Barbara Bush at the very beginning of the Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue.
Oh, wow.
Delivering a Just Say No message.
Ah.
And then a message from the Ronald McDonald House Charities. And it was this kid singing, "Love lifted me." And that was this, it's crystallized in my head as this memory. Because like we watched it as a kid and I was mesmerized. I'm like, how are all these cartoons in one place?
Yeah, I was too old for that one. So, but now I'm going to check out that Jetsons Flintstones crossover. Because
I'll track it down for you.
I'm legit curious to see that. How did I miss it? What happened in my world that I missed that altogether? And I was pretty in touch with stuff like that.
You were, you knew what a woman looked like. You were also in your teens. You're probably plotting.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Your military future.
By the time if it happened when I was a teenager, then I waited.
Let's see.
I figured it'd be older than that. Because the
Jetsons meet the well, it was the show was old, but this came in '87 is when this one came out.
Oh, see, I would have
Jetsons meet the Flintstones.
I would have been like 14 at that time.
Yeah. So let's see. Where could you? Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube.
Hey,
there you
go. Check it out. Guess 1987. I missed that one.
I'm coming back to you. By the way,
I was busy jamming out to Billy Idol in excess.
I found a cool little docuseries on I think it was on Hulu.
Yeah.
It's just called 1989, the year that changed America.
Okay.
It's really, I'm only like 1.5 episodes deep so far, but it's really good. It's like super in depth about everything that, cultural changes, all the geopolitical stuff from the 1989, specifically that season, stuff with Gorbachev, an up and coming Putin.
Yeah.
And kind of like watching all these through like today's like eyes. It's
a couple years later, the Metallica Black Album came out, changed
right?
everything about Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Crazy times, man.
I lived it. I don't remember being.
I was there. I was 5.
I think I was like 16 at that point. Yeah, I was like 16 at that point.
No, you'd been like 14 or 15 because we're only 10 years apart.
Right.
So 89, I would have been about 5.
Let's see, 73, 83. I would have been 16.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, because the only reason I know that, because 87 and 88 was the year I went to Australia and all that, and it was December of 87 to January 88, and I was 14 when that happened.
Okay.
That's the only reason I was like, well, 92 years later, I was 16.
It's funny where you establish your milestones.
Yeah.
Like mine, like Romania for me was a month before 9/11.
Ah.
It was July, or it was like 2 months before 9/11. So we went in July of 2001.
Okay, it was 2 months. Because
Yeah.
I was married. My wife and I are married 1 month to the day before 9/11.
Oh, wow.
Our wedding anniversary is August 11th, 2001.
And
Yes.
And it was funny after the fact too, because we were commenting, we got through most of the security checkpoints with no problem whatsoever.
Really?
Like none. The one in Frankfurt, no problem at all. The one in Bucharest, I think the one in Bucharest, we were held up, but it wasn't like a huge issue. They didn't have to take all our stuff out.
Airport security changed.
Certainly did.
Drastically September 12th that year.
For some reason, I don't know.
Yeah,
Something
for some
happened.
reason. Something happened. Well, I just even remember, because this was before I was in the military. When that all went. I was in the military before 9/11. And getting on the base and stuff was even, I was out by the time 9/11 happened. But it was even back in the day, if I wanted to get a friend on base or a family member, it was pretty easy to get them on base.
Right.
They just, hey, they're with me. After 9/11, that all changed.
Oh, sure.
It was very difficult.
They're
to get
locked down.
People, you had no business being on the base. You ain't getting on the base. But anyway, like I said, we got our interview. We're going to play here with the city clerk, Amelia Martinez, and city councilor Christina Arnold. We had a great conversation with them yesterday. We're going to play that for you here in just a bit. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking good for the next couple of days. High pressure is set up over the Four Corners region and the Central Rockies. That'll be covering us with sunshine today. Looks like low 60s on the afternoon high, low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll start warming up on Wednesday, sunny and mid 60s. We're back in the low 70s with fair weather again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 49 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 41%. Winds a little breezy at the moment, out of the north at 18 miles per hour. Sunny today with a high of 62. They say winds out of the north 5 to 10, except for right now where they're out of the north at 18. For tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 33 degrees. Northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your Wednesday, another nice day, sunny skies, 65 for a high. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour, partly cloudy tomorrow night. Expect an overnight low of 35 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Warming up for your Thursday, sunny, 71 for a high on Thursday. West winds 5 to 10. Friday, going to be warm as well. Sunny skies with highs near 70. I suspect winds will be rolling in Friday afternoon, evening, because we are experiencing cooler temps on Saturday. Sunny. High of only 53 on Saturday. And then Sunday, we're back up into the low 60s, 63 there. So it's just that one day we dip down into the 50s, and then we're back up into the 60s for Sunday. And looks like we'll start next week in the low 60s as well, too. All right, it is 9:21. We're going to take a 2.5-minute commercial break. Then we'll play our interview with Amelia Martinez, the Roswell City Clerk, and Christina Arnold, City Councilor for Ward 1. That's up next. Don't go away.
Rosa, have you decided where you're going to college yet?
There's so many choices. I'm still not sure.
Well, I've decided to attend the University of New Mexico. It's the only Research One university in the state. It's the flagship, and their academic programs are among the best in the nation.
The University of New Mexico? Can I still apply?
Of course. UNM is New Mexico's best university, and residents of New Mexico get preference in admission. Apply now, and we'll attend UNM together.
The University of New Mexico, New Mexico's University of Opportunity. Apply today at unm.edu.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Do you feel like time is running out for your to-do list? Don't let wisdom teeth get in your way. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Wisdom teeth can cause you pain and a lot of unnecessary downtime. Patients appreciate the ease of wisdom teeth removal while they are comfortable and relaxed in our office. Call us today to schedule your wisdom teeth removal with sedation and let us take the stress out of the situation.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Let's face it, guys. We're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, Christina Arnold, City Councilor representing Ward 1, back with us. And for this month, and I'd say for the last several months now, we've been kind of doing how the sausage is made segments. Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's not the official term, but
it works.
It
like
does work. And so of course last month we talked a lot about wastewater, and we got to tour the plant and kind of got to see literally how the water moves and how we go from turning your poop water back into potable water that's watering plants and crops and everything else.
That's like the opposite of how the sausage is made. Yes. It's how the sausage is unmade, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Green sausage.
Let's not go there.
But anyway, we're going a little bit more cleaner this month here, a little bit more sanitary this month. Joining us in the studio this morning is your clerk for the city of Roswell, Amalia Martinez. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you.
Well, fortunately, your job does not require hip waders or any of these or any PPE of that nature.
It might.
Certain days, maybe, might need a mask. But I'm just kidding. And really, of course, I think a lot of people think of the clerk election time, because that's kind of, the time when the spotlight does turn on the clerk a little bit here. But really, at the end of the day, the clerk is kind of the keeper of everything, the keeper of the records, the keeper of kind of our history a little bit in terms of not so much on 1802 this happened, but the marriage licenses, your building permits, everything that needs to be a documentation of kept. Here comes the city clerk.
Right. Well, just a real quick, we don't handle the marriage licenses.
Okay.
That's the county.
That's all part of the county. But other licenses and things, that's where the city keeps that kind of stuff.
That's right.
Obviously, if you and to be honest, and I always recommend, and I'm not sure if it's the city or the county clerk, but every member of the United States military, when you get out of the military, you get a what's called your DD-214, which is basically your piece of paper that says you are no longer in service of the United States military. Mm-hmm. It is, military people know it's probably arguably one of your most important documents of your life, because at some point someone's going to want to see it for some reason about something. One thing that's notoriously famous about those documents is once they give it to you, if you lose it, it is almost impossible to obtain another copy of it. Unless if you get smart and when you get, settled here, if you settled here in Roswell, you can go and give a copy to the clerk's office so they can keep it on file as a public record. And therefore, if you lose it, you can go down to the clerk's office, obviously show proper identification and proof it's you and all that, and they will be happy to give you another copy of it. So if you're very good at not keeping things like that, it's an idea that, as a matter of fact, when I was in the military, that was one they said, go down to your clerk's office, get this thing registered, and that way you will not have to worry about, in the event you lose it to a house fire or something like that. But anyway, the clerk's kind of that important person. I'm guessing your office can never be on the second floor of a building. I think effectively for any, or at least the part where they keep the documents and stuff. Because I imagine it gets a little weighty after years and years of keeping. Now we're going digital, and so there's digital. But I imagine for many cases there's still a physical copy of papers just sitting in a file somewhere within the clerk's property there.
We do. We have a vault on the second floor.
Gotcha.
That
Okay, so we got stronger flooring here, but I'm thinking at some point, like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't put that on the second floor. I've actually heard stories of like older county, like the buildings and things, where they're saying, we can't, we gotta put them in the basement because it's just too much weight, too much files, too much stuff there. So, but so let me ask, how long have you, how did you come to be in the clerk's office? What drew you to this profession?
Well, I've been, this actually is my first full year.
Okay.
Before that, I was interim clerk, and I just happened to come up on the position.
Gotcha. So I mean, kind of just give folks a general idea what your typical day-to-day. I mean, obviously there are elections. There's, your things busy, but a day like this where we're not really in election season like this. What's in a typical day for the clerk's office like?
So monthly, we have our city council meetings. Actually, this month or this week, we'll be working on those.
And somebody's got to record those.
Yep, we've got IT is wonderful, and they help us get those all online. And we do the minutes for all the meetings. We just make sure that all of our minutes are complete, and we just daily people coming in, business license and liquor licenses, and just talking to the public,
kind of the general.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you guys kind of clerk's office? I mean, like, do you guys have it's encompassed within your own office? Like obviously city offices, but there is an IT department for the city that handles. But with the nature of your work and stuff, do you have like your own IT department things, or is it all part of the cities? Or
it's all part of the city.
Okay, I didn't know if you kind of had, just because obviously some of the nature of the work, especially when it comes to computers and elections and all that, there's sensitive material there, so I didn't know if it requires a different level of IT on some of that kind of stuff than just, hey, the computer in the water department's office ain't working anymore, we need to get it fixed. Kind of, yours computers are a little bit different and
that's kind of why I wanted to bring her, because we just had the elections and things have kind of changed in the process and the way we actually do it, because the council voted to change that.
Right.
And so I kind of wanted the public to understand her, the clerk's role in it. And I also want to throw in there that Amalia and her team, Della, they're actually a pivotal part of keeping me informed. I absolutely adore them, and I have so much fun still working, but they are a key part of every process that we have.
Right.
So that is why I thought the public needs to kind of understand how that role changed in this last election too, because those have changed.
Well, and then there's also that part too where we live in the world that everyone loves to yell of election fraud, this and that, and I'm like, yeah, it's a little different than you think.
I don't think it was possible for the clerk's office this time.
Yeah.
So we did opt in to opt in with the county,
Mm-hmm.
and they did run our elections this year. But we did have to do the campaign reports and have to handle a lot.
You're very much an integral part of all that. Maybe they certify it, but the legwork and all that's done by your office. I'm guessing most of that kind of stuff.
I think most of it was done out at the county.
Okay.
We do just handle the back end paperwork, the
pulling of the data, and then passing it off for them to do their analyzations and countings and whatever they do to certify it, make it official here.
I don't remember what month that was that we voted on that, but Councilman Korn actually put before us the option to change when our elections are held, which actually led for the councilors to be shorted 3 months. So normally we would actually have our elections, I think it's in March. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we used to do a spring election.
So we, in order to actually support this, we had to give up 3 months of our actual, office
term of service,
yes.
Yeah.
And so, but the concept behind it was actually made a lot of sense, because you have when I ran, I won by 389 votes. Okay, that's not a lot of people. I think there was a total of 700 people that showed up out of Ward 1, and that was a ward of like 3,800. Okay, so when you have those elections like by themselves, then you have less turnout. By putting them with the actual school elections, I think our turnout was a lot more. I think it was very profound in the difference. So
better than it was.
Yeah,
numbers still aren't high enough.
They're not high enough, but yes, more participation.
You
definitely.
look at and I just give Ward 5 as an example because that's one I always see that.
Yes, that one's really low.
The numbers are generally like 100.
Yes.
Of votes apiece somewhere in that.
Correct.
I mean, it's really that.
Yes, that's how it was.
It's really like, and sometimes the difference. I think one year it was like 106 to 101 or something.
Yeah,
it was very close.
They're always very close, but this time they actually had some turnout.
Good.
I was very excited about that.
Well, and that's the point I always make is and I'm glad to see that lining the schedule has had a positive impact on getting voter turnout. But we as a community need to do much better job of turning out to vote on these things. And I know all of you have opinions. We all do. And I see them on Facebook all the time. Yeah. That municipal election is your chance to actually put in the things you want to see this city do. And that's why it's so important you vote. So when I see these, I'm glad the numbers are up, but we need those numbers to be, sure, in theory, I'd love 100% turnout. That's a goal that I don't think we'll ever achieve. But, when it comes to, the decisions being made, the things that city councilors and county commissioners and the people at that level, they're going to greatly impact your life on a day-to-day basis, way more than a president or even a governor in some cases here. So that's why it's important to vote, to pay attention and to show up. And when it comes to, that's why the clerk's office, that's why they do all these, gone are the days where you're like, where do I go vote again? I got to look at my card and I got to be at the school. No. So you can vote about a month ahead of time now. On election day, you can, anywhere you are in the county, you can vote. Even during city elections and things like that, you get to, they've made it as convenient as humanly possible, short of, walking up to you saying, here's a ballot, check it out, and I'll take it with me and go with. I mean, that's the next step I'm thinking. We're going to door-to-door clerk.
We did have same-day registrations, and I think we've done that before. We did have several phone calls that come into City Hall just wanting to know, where they would vote. And we were able to pull up their sample ballots and help them that way. So,
just kind of curious too, like you said, with this new way, it's gotten a lot simpler. But because I'm guessing, obviously you guys take your marching orders from higher up here. The state calls and says you got to do it this way. Is in your time there, does the election cycles get that different from time to time just because of the rules that are coming in and stuff, or is it pretty? We got our routine, it's kind of, it's done this way. And sure, there's been a few changing on a couple things we do, but it's still, or is it night and day different compared with the?
Well, I have not run an election myself. When I came in, it was in the middle of an election 2 years ago. And then, like she said, we opted in to do the elections with the county. So I can't tell you exactly how much changes there's been.
Gotcha.
We have had a couple of election school trainings just for the clerk's end, but I couldn't tell you how much difference there is between.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know if maybe you were obviously not the clerk then, but kind of helping out and seeing it from a different position there and things. But I've seen, actually election night's quite interesting. I invite everyone to kind of come and be a part of it. Usually, especially during the municipal elections, they have a room set up at City Hall where not only candidates, but just members of the public are kind of hanging out, just kind of waiting for results to roll in. And every time there's a new person rolling into the clerk's office, everyone's like, ooh, here comes
I have to say, I was actually deeply disappointed. She did not have any bean dip.
No
or
bean dip.
Veggies, or there was. I was hoping nothing.
So the clerk's office needs a host committee to work on.
We'll know better next
We're
election.
going to create a.
We are.
We'll pull some money.
but it's actually quite neat to watch that whole process, and I've gotten to be a fly on the wall once or twice watching it, as a media person, and it's really cool to just to see that. And I would even argue that if you get a chance, not everybody bring their friends. There's only so much bean dip, but
and only so much bean dip.
Yeah. But I think if you get a chance to bring like your family in to kind of see the process and see, I think it'd be really cool for an age appropriate child. Maybe don't bring in a toddler, but
that's the important age when we start getting children to understand how important their vote is. Because I recognize that people think that their vote doesn't count, but on a campaign analysis level or a political analysis level, your vote is actually extremely important because they look at the data on where they determine where to serve.
Absolutely.
So they look at the data on your city clerk level, on your county level, not just nationwide elections. On those local levels, they try to see which communities have voters. So the more voters you have, the more they actually pick areas to do things.
The squeakier wheel gets the grease.
So
that's just how life is.
That's why you are a number.
Yeah.
And it matters.
I know it stinks to be referred to as a number, but in this case, this is exactly what you want to do. So yes, encourage your neighbors to vote. Encourage
and your children.
Yeah, and your children when it's their turn to do their civic duty. Show that's why and when it comes election time, I know all of your volunteers are usually very good about that. When a family member wants to bring their child in to vote with them, or let them sit there at the little booth while they're filling in their ballots and all that kind of stuff. We want to, it was a little different when we were kids. When we were kids, they had the curtain and the little switches you flip.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you could actually bring the kid in the little, curtain booth and flip the thing in. And all of us and I know every one of us spent 5 minutes because they go in there and then you see them and look at, where's that thing to close the curtain again? Oh, there it is. And then, but every once the person behind your line's watching and you're going, and they see him like, where's that thing?
I never got to enjoy the curtain.
Oh, I did. I love the way I got to do the curtain. Yeah. But, so it's not as much of a show like when we were, when we were kids.
It was a big deal because you pull that curtain.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, exactly. It feels official. Like, now it's an official thing. But absolutely get that stuff involved.
Yeah, we just need to get voters out there, and we need a lot of voters. We need people to start participating and joining us on these elections.
Absolutely. That's like I say it every time. I see everyone complain on social media about what they're not happy about. And if you didn't vote, sorry, that's where if you want to, God bless you. You want to spew whatever you want to spew online. It's a free country. But if you want actual things to be impacted and changed, and your votes, what does that? And it's not how many Facebook groups you start or how many things you say on a Facebook group. It's what you do in the poll when you're in there,
because they're looking at you as a number.
Yeah, absolutely. So please, A, if you're not registered, get registered, and B, when the next election cycle comes here, and of course now it's going to be, I think is next we're turning to presidential cycles and all that.
Correct.
So it's going to be a little bit more popular and a little bit more visual on this one. But those municipal elections, they're the ones that really impact your day-to-day life way more than in a national election.
Yeah, that's our next local election. Will be in 2024 for the other councilors.
Good deal. Yeah, and that's the beauty of the way this particular our city set up, where we have the largest city council in the state, 10 members of the city council. Every ward has 2 city councilors representing them. So if you live in Ward 1, Christina's your counselor, and then you have Oropesa as your other city councilor to represent you. And then wards 2, 3, 4, and 5 also have.
I didn't even realize that. You just I hadn't thought that far ahead, because in 2 years I run again, and it'll be, I might be able to get some good numbers instead of 389. Wow.
So that's at every given time, at every given municipal election, you will have a vote. Every ward is impacted. Every ward has an official that's up for an election. So the half that weren't up this last one will be up next year in the next municipal election.
Quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
So
it's going fast.
So every pretty much
every 2 years.
Every 2 years we're electing new city councilors here. So so please pay attention to that kind of stuff. And to be honest, if you're interested in stepping up to be a city councilor, and like you said, that we're a year away from the next election, now's the time to do your research, to do your, you want to, things you're tired of, this is that level.
I'm going to have to disagree. You're actually telling them to come at. So hold up there, okay?
Wards 2, 3, and 4 if you're interested.
Ward 1, come talk to me and I'll fix it.
But joking aside, Christina's exactly what I'm talking about here. You're just a citizen that cared about stuff and had things that I'm tired of seeing this. Hey, I should run for office. And that's but that's exactly how the city government works. And that's
I just had a set of skills that I was willing to share. So that's what I was like, I got some skills here I can help out with.
But I mean, granted, we have counselors and things that do have political experience and things, but by and large, the city council is made up of just the average citizens, average people that by day they're dentists and doctors and hardware store owners and barbers and things like that. Yes. By night, they serve as a city councilor. That's kind of, that's how the position's meant to be. That's why it's not paid as a full-time position. It's not meant to be something that, you're not a city councilor as your job. You're city councilor as a server of the community. Yes. Yeah. And so,
we do it better because of people like Amalia as our city clerk. Because I'm telling you, there's times when I'm running into the room, what is this again?
And that's the thing too. It's the city councilors are like the rest of us. They come in just like, hey, I want a puppy with a spaceship that flies. Can we make something with concert like pyrotechnics and then the people like Molly are like, hold on, counselor, we need to wrangle it.
Let's think this over again.
And then every department's got an Amalia telling the city, hold on, counselor.
I do look for Amalia and Della. They're so in every department. There's when they're like, here's the real bug.
Yeah, and that's but that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. That's why you have a city council with the ideas and in theory thinking out of the box, and then the city staff are the ones that kind of say, all right, this is how we do that without getting you in trouble.
Right. And then that's the key line right there.
Or B, we can absolutely, or B, no, that's the concept's good, but we got to rethink how to execute it because that's not going to work that way. But that's really how the city works is your mayor and city council are the ones that kind of dictate, create policy and things, and then the city staff are the ones that keep them lined up, but also make sure they can execute said city policy.
Okay, that brings up something else I want to mention. You said that I've actually had certain people who that work for the city, and they kind of feel disparaged because the community will come in and talk to them about get upset about the certain rules, and I finally have told these employees that if someone is yelling at them, that they need to tell them, I don't write the policy, you need to call my city councilor.
That's right.
Because yelling at a staff member or a city employee about a policy or something like
They're
that.
just doing their job.
Correct.
Yep.
And so that's why I always say, come talk to me, and if I can fix it, I will go. You can ask Amalia. I will go in and I will work to fix it. But please don't yell at our staff.
Well, we have elected officials for the reason. Going back, you each have two city council. If you're not sure who they are, go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov, and you can find the maps, and it'll tell you exactly what ward you're in.
Or just give us a call.
Or call the clerk's office. They'll be happy to tell you. That's kind of their thing.
We're happy to help.
And but if you have questions about that too, and by the way, if you want to volunteer and get involved, like I said, there's always an election cycle around the corner, and the volunteers that sit at the polling locations for a month of early voting, and then at the 11, 12, how many different voting convenience centers are at that given moment, they're all volunteers, and they are the reason. Those people are really the backbone of this whole process, because without those folks in the cog, none of this happens. And let's face it, they're yeoman volunteers. They're doing this because they have a passion for it. They care about their community. They're a lightning rod. I've seen what y'all do to poll workers when on election day. If something's not perfect, y'all get in your little tantrums and tizzies and act like 6-year-olds. I've watched you do it while I've been 3 people behind you in line.
They only understood how the sausage was made, right?
And I'm like, quit doing what you're doing. These people are just trying to help. So A, thank you to all those volunteers, and B,
absolutely,
we need more of you. Please please reach out to the clerk's office and say, hey, I would love to, because there is training. You just don't roll in one day and start, here you go. There is a lot of training and a lot of legalese that you need to know and do, because let's face it, you're the line in the sand when it comes to, that first line in the sand for election fraud and those things to make sure the system is working. There's people to try to test those workers to try to get extra votes and things like that. And so, yeah. No, not everybody's honest.
Yeah.
And so those volunteers are that line in the sand and are the ones that say, this is a red flag. We need to, and then the rest of the clerk's staff comes in. And
I just think it takes so much time to figure out how to defraud something.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's easier just to actually follow the process.
Sure. Well, and that's just it. You don't realize how much work you have to do to do nefarious stuff sometimes. You think you're trying to cut a corner?
Right.
You're actually doing 10 times the work sometimes. And
I look at that in mortgage loans because they have all these notices about mortgage fraud, and I'm like, it takes me just that forever just to get a loan. I mean,
exactly.
I can't imagine.
And I ain't gonna lie, there's a reason I'm
it.
in radio, because I have a huge lazy streak. I love to not do nothing.
Oh,
and so,
congratulations.
yeah, I mean, I'm all about working smarter, not harder.
Right.
So it's like, I might as well just do it right rather than do all that headache. I mean, but seriously, it really is, it's a vital thing. And so those volunteers, we thank you. Please keep volunteering and let's also groom the next generation. Quite frankly,
our children need to be
and let's face it. Quite frankly, most of the people that truly have the time to do what that job takes are retired people, because it kind of is a full-time job for that time in which you're serving, and so we need our younger, fresher legs to get in there and help out. Sometimes
I will say that the nerdy side of me started. I actually worked at the library too, but Ross Perot. 16. That's when I actually
that's
got
when you
really
started
excited.
doing?
Yeah, that's when I got excited.
Well, that's kind of where you see very young who are kind of in college, or people that generally have a little bit more time on their hands, and so. But we need that.
But Ross Perot was exciting. We can all admit to that.
Oh, he created a few pots. He was a stirrer of pots.
I love pie charts. I understood what he was talking about at 16.
Although his vice presidential choice was kind of entertaining to watch.
I don't remember.
Oh, I do.
But I will look back now.
I think he almost fell asleep during that vice presidential. He was a retired general or something.
Okay. Of course.
He was, I think, a nice guy, but he was a little long in the tooth, and it's like, Ross, I'm done retired 52 years ago. What am I doing up here? Anyway, another story for another time.
I'm going to go back and look at that.
But yeah, get involved, get out there, and then of course, if you do have questions or want to know this stuff, if you're not sure where your ward you're in or any of that stuff, and of course, when it comes to the other things, when you need those licenses and things taken care of, those permits and all that stuff, the clerk's office can help you find that stuff or keep your personal things that you want, public record of. That's what the clerk's office does.
Yeah, if we don't know the answer to your question, we will definitely find somebody within
Absolutely.
the department that can help you.
She will.
Yeah.
We are happy to help.
And the other thing too is I'm sure you guys work in concert with all the county clerk's office and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Because really, and they're doing a great job at the county clerk's office too. Like you said, they've been doing this for years, and sure, they've had different faces run that over the years, but all of them have done a great job doing it. And it really
Cindy
is.
and her girls out there have done
Yeah,
it. Her
and
team
Dave
have done
before
it.
that
Yes.
did a great job.
Did a great job.
And I'm sure they've probably come in and helped y'all quite a bit, kind of, doing, keeping your T's crossed and I's dotted and everything else. And because that's kind of it too. I'm sure clerk's office look for there's always someone making sure everyone's doing it right. And obviously you guys have, the state people coming and making sure you do, but that's the thing. You probably look for each other out. It's like, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, because there are so many rules, regulations, and things that have to be adhered to that there is no room for, oops, we missed that one. No, you've got to literally go through it with the fine tooth comb. And when someone's looking hard at it, there's two other people behind them that equally look hard at it to make sure nothing slips through the cracks and things like that. That's really, attention to detail is probably the biggest asset that you can have in the clerk's office is
It's
one of
me
them.
in trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm thinking a lot of good former military people would be good working in the clerk's office.
Absolutely.
Because
I think there's been a few.
well, it's because the way the military trains you, that brain, it gets you into that attention to detail brain. And I think that serves you well in the clerk's office there.
Absolutely.
Because it literally is about making sure nothing slips through. It's just, you're that official of making things official. So you got to be pretty good at what you're doing to make it official.
It's really interesting because, I'm a 30,000 foot person, so I don't, when I see a semicolon missing, I'm not too worried about it because I do know that there is a process for editing after. So
her
during
office
a meeting,
is the office where about the semicolons.
I don't have to worry about a whole meeting filled with grammar corrections because there is a system that actually will update before it goes into our database and stuff like that. So
I got a hunch, like when all the clerk's office staff are like social, like whether it's a lunch break or just hanging out afterwards, I imagine those conversations get a little bit argumentative. And the only reason I ask that is because people that are stats people, if you're slightly off on a detail, they're going to call you out on it. So I imagine like it's socially at lunch when they're just talking about, it could be anything. It could be Taylor Swift songs or something like that, but they're going to hit it from an analytical mind, and it's going to get deep and dark and talking for hours about it. Am I wrong, or am I?
No, you're absolutely right. You are
they take everything to level 37. I'm just telling you right now.
We're going to check this out.
Or we sit in the meeting and we just kind of cringe. Thinking,
That's my favorite part is during a city council meeting, you can hear, Sir, that's a roll call. I could just see her.
Because clerk's office attention to detail is not just a luxury in that world. That's what they do, and so I'm sure it rubs off on every single aspect of their life, including the social side.
Yes, absolutely. Because she has to stay on it until people notice and she corrects
absolutely.
it. I watch her.
That's how they function and get well and do what they do in life. If they didn't do it that way, it would be a hot mess in their world. So absolutely. We're almost out of time. Is there anything we wanted to share? Or did we kind of, or any details that we wanted to kind of talk about that I just got?
I just wanted to bring her on because I really enjoy having been Mayor Pro Tem this last year.
Sure.
She's been so much help, and I enjoy working with her all the time.
And I know that your office and you guys make our city councilors and our elected officials look very good, and that's. We were very appreciative of that because
I am.
I know. Over the years, you'll get city councilors and they'll come out of left field with some stuff, and you're just like, "What am I doing, Harry? What are they asking me?" And you guys are that line that says, I get what you're saying. Here's a way we can do it without, breaking the Constitution or doing whatever.
The city attorney does that a lot for me. I'm like, can we build this? And then he's like, wait a minute. Rein it in.
No, just January 1st, we will have the swearing in of our new city councils.
So you like to come and see that's the little bit of pageantry that you'll see out of the clerk's office. The rest is kind of nuts
City
and bolts.
Hall, so we'll welcome whoever. The city councils will bring their families and we'll have a little swearing in ceremony for them.
Absolutely, newly elected officials and things like that too. So, just we're about out of time, but just was curious. Do you guys like like the county clerk and it's like they're recertifying like the Arthur elections and things like that? I know you're a different city, but do the clerk's office help in ways like that with some of that minutia stuff, like? Hey, we're just running numbers, or is that completely handled by the office and none of that goes outside of the office just because of the nature of what the office is?
It's actually handled out at the county because we did opt into for them to handle all of our elections.
Once there's a recount, then it goes up another level with a different set of eyeballs and a different set of...
but it's all handled through the county, not through the clerk's
I didn't know
office.
if there was kind of like, all right, well, we're going to pull the clerks from this office to look at it because they haven't seen it yet or anything like that. Or like if you were... they had to pull independent eyeballs from other places.
Yeah, no, it's all handled at the county clerks.
They got people just designed for that purpose.
Correct.
So, very good. Well, thank you. I'm sure you got a few fires to stomp out at the office when you get there.
Monday morning.
So it's Monday morning after a long week. Yeah, I'm sure it's a hot mess over there this morning. So we'll let you do it. But thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you.
Love to have you back anytime, especially as we get closer to an election cycle, like the time when early voting. Get you in here and just...
I should have done it ahead of time, and I realized that.
Well, it's
results afterwards.
But that way we can, for that group, we'll tell them, so we can get make sure
voters out
that we
there.
get even more voters than the last time here. I would love to see thousands of voters in every single ward. Because ideally, every ward has the same amount of voters. That's the whole point of making the wards and everything.
Yes.
So they all should be equal in numbers in theory. So let's make that happen.
Yes.
Good deal.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having
guys.
us.
We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. It is 7:58. Let's do a quick break before news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike.
Updates. I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Supreme Court has upheld the conviction of an Alamogordo man for a 2018 deadly shooting of a man named Daniel Martinez. Ignacio Galindo was convicted for killing his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. He was also convicted for child abuse and tampering with evidence and aggravated stalking. Galindo claimed he was acting in self-defense and that Martinez pointed a gun at him first, despite evidence at trial showing that Galindo had broken into the home through a window. And the state Supreme Court also heard oral arguments Monday in a redistricting case after the November appeal of a lower court ruling that keeps the state's current congressional map the same. After oral arguments on Monday, the justices did not make a ruling. The plaintiffs in the case, including the New Mexico GOP and Roswell Mayor Tim Jennings, claim the map adopted by the Democratic-led legislature 2 years ago is an egregious partisan gerrymander that violates the state's constitution. For instance, Chavez County is split up between all 3 state U.S. House districts under the newly redrawn boundaries. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened lower this morning after Moody's Investors Service downgraded China's sovereign debt rating as the country's real estate crisis impacts local government and private financing. Slowing economic growth in China is weighing on U.S. financial markets that have been buoyed by signs of easing inflation and the potential for an end to the series of interest rate hikes enacted by the Federal Reserve and aimed at reining in inflation. The United States tells delegates to the International Climate Conference in Dubai that the U.S. will work with other governments to speed up efforts to develop nuclear fusion as a new source of carbon-free energy. Alaska Airlines wants to buy Hawaiian Airlines for $1 billion, but it's raising questions about how antitrust regulators will view the deal and whether past airline mergers have harmed consumers. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Israel has intensified its bombardment